3, 2. I'm leaving that in.
No way.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Braindead Podcast, featuring yours truly, Alex Works, and my lovely co-hosts, Exile's Funeral, Noah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We got Zooter, John, and
then iced coffee is fake.
yeah, right there. Looks a little different.
It's a little different today. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. Kev could not be here with us today, but we have our lovely special guest, KOLBI.
What's up?
Game developer, and what? I'm like, what do you do for Cross Impact? I forget.
Let him introduce himself.
Yeah,
I did.
What do you do?
Yeah, it's
Well,
probably for the best.
I'm a full stack software developer. I do game dev in my free time. I wish I could do it full time. I made a lot of small games like Orthia, and then I put it
Father
on
of Orthio.
Steam. Father of Orthio, and that's coming to Switch later this year. I make games. I make really small games that no one knows about, and now I'm making Cross Impact.
Fire. Awesome. Are you the... What is that? What is your position for Cross Impact? I'm curious. What's your title?
I'm director, but I'm also the lead programmer. So there's also Noobstack who does programming, but I do most of it. I import the animations and I do the moves. He basically does the balancing. I do everything else.
Okay. And for those that don't know, Cross Impact is a game that recently got kickstarted. It's a platform fighter featuring a lot of indie game characters. Some you might know. Jacket from Hotline Miami, V1 from Ultra Kill, and Dallen's own Orthio.
Yeah, of course.
Classics. All of them.
Only 10 out of 10 games are allowed.
Yeah.
So,
Alex, I'm surprised you didn't mention one character from that you
I'm also
really
surprised,
love.
man.
Okay.
That you're really into, actually.
So, this is actually great, because I have this written down.
God.
So you have like pretty big, like, well-known characters in that game. Like, big in terms of indie stuff. Like,
yeah.
Ultra Kill and Hotline Miami and, like, even Tori are, like, pretty well-known games. Pretty,
Yeah.
like, popular.
Yeah.
Why? Why yiik? I'm just curious.
It's a good question. So, I'm really good friends with Andrew Allenson, who's the one half of
One of the
Axe
two
Studios.
brothers.
Yeah, one of the two brothers. And honestly, and I don't know how, I know a lot of people do not like yiik, but I love Y2K. It is, honest to God, one of my favorite, most endearing RPGs I've ever played. It is in my top 5 favorite games of all time. Like, unironically, I love that game. It is so phenomenal.
Alex is actually crying right
Me
now.
and you, man. Me and KOLBI against the fucking world. I'm telling you.
It's just a good game.
yiik is easily top 2. I think
Alex
yiik
really
and Pizza
likes
Tower
it.
are interchangeable for me.
Yeah, they're both really good.
That game gets such a bad rap, man.
Yeah.
I think the characters are really endearing. I think Alex is really funny. I think the story is interesting. I could talk about that game for hours, but I don't want this to be the yiik cast.
I need to.
It should
be. I need to
It
try
should
it
be.
out.
You really
But,
should.
It's
we can
$10
talk
right now
about
on
it
Steam.
a
It's
little
half
more.
off.
Yeah.
We could talk on it a little bit. Why does it get a bad rap?
There's some stuff with the game that's like actually like the game's flawed. I think that's fair to say. Like the combat can be pretty sluggish. One of the characters I believe is based on, if you're familiar with Elisa Lam, I believe they're based off of that case where this woman, for those who don't know, I forget exactly what happened, so I probably shouldn't even talk about it. But what was it? It's she was found, the last she was seen, she was in like this elevator doing this weird whatever, right? As if something was happening. And then I want to say weeks later maybe, she was found dead in like a water tower. It's a crazy story.
Yeah, it's
Really
there's
so
just a lot.
that's a part of it. But there's also like really stupid things. Like people think the character is like a self-insert.
Yeah,
there's a
That's
lot
what
of-
I heard. I heard that.
There's so
And I
much
was like,
misinformation
what?
about that
Yeah,
game, and it's like people are willingly misinformed about it, which sucks. But I mean, like, fair enough, I guess. But also, I can't help but feel horrible. Like, Jesus Christ, these poor developers worked so hard,
Yeah,
and they get
for
so
years.
clowned for years,
Yeah,
and they're
that's
still
true.
working on it. That new update, I'm so excited.
It's phenomenal. I don't know. I don't think I can actually say anything personal about the update, but I've got the chance to playtest it. I know I can say that because I'm asked, but
That's actually so cool.
It's really good. The few issues I actually really did have with Yiik, I all got like completely fixed. Like the combat, I'm one of the people who actually really does like the combat. It just 1,000-year anything like that. I don't know. I love, but I get why people don't like it. It was sluggish and it is very like, it's slow. It takes a long time. The battles take way too long. But no, the new combat's really good too. I like both of them. I mean the whole thing. I love IV. I would say to wait for IV.
Yeah, I think even with the new update, you also have the option to play like with the old combat and stuff, right?
Yeah, you
That's
do.
so sick. Dude,
But
I
you can't switch back though. So if you do that, you're like stuck on the old combat.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Question: Could you guys?
go for it.
Sorry.
No, fine.
Could you guys explain some like what yiik is, or like what it's about? People who don't know anything.
That's a good idea.
How do I
Because you guys are
begin?
talking about it.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about it, but they don't really know.
Yeah,
what
that's
it is.
fair. Yiik is a turn-based RPG, similar to Earthbound, Omori, Undertale, etc., etc. About this ginger loser cuck goes on a quest to save this beautiful Asian woman from alternate dimension aliens. That's basically it simplified.
Yeah. It's a good supper.
That's as simple as I can make it.
Yeah.
Meet a lot of
It's
wacky
very-
characters along the way. It's really interesting.
Yeah. It's out there. It's one of the more out there ones.
I love how weird it is, man. It's so great.
Yeah, that's half the charm.
I've gotten to talk to Andrew Allison like once, and I was like starstruck. I was like, I don't know why I was so nervous. I was sitting there nervous as shit, and I thought in my head, I was like, this guy made Y2K. Like, why am I stressing so much? He's great
You're
though.
yicking out, man.
He seems like a great guy.
Oh,
Both
he
of them.
is awesome. I get really stressed talking to Andrew, and I talk to him literally at least on a weekly basis. So it's I don't know. It's just he's one of those people you just really like. I don't know. It's kind of incredible. I've gotten to work with kirbopher
Holy shit.
for new lines for Alex, and I had to get them approved by AC, and it was a whole thing. It was great. It was a great thing.
That's
not
so
like a bad
sick.
thing. Yeah, but working with kirbopher was also like it was like that. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm talking to.
He's someone I'd be
kirbopher.
starstruck to meet. Kirbopher, for those who don't know, is, for one, he's the voice of Alex Yick. He's also the voice of a lot of characters, like anime stuff. I can't name specific ones, honestly. I'm not super familiar with his voice acting work. But he made Brawl Taunts, and I love Brawl
Yeah.
Taunts.
Yeah, I recognize that name, and I was like, he did something I know.
He did
I've
Brawl
also heard
Taunts,
him
he
anyway, so
did
don't worry.
the fucking Super Mario RPG song, like animated video. Oh,
That's a classic.
Oh, yeah.
Kirbopher is my goat. I love that guy.
A lot of Newgrounds stuff. He was like really big on Newgrounds. I remember.
Yeah. It's so funny how, like, I never grew up on Newgrounds. I grew up on strictly, like, YouTube, pretty much. But I consumed so much Newgrounds content that I have this weird, like, nostalgia for it, despite never being on that website.
Yeah. Well, they shoved a lot of shit from Newgrounds onto YouTube. A lot of like Newgrounds
Yeah.
creators would try to.
Or, like,
Do
re-uploaders.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. There were a lot of re-uploads.
Oh man.
Big re-upload. I think it's funny how you say kirbopher is like your idol that you want to meet, and like a normal like if you saw Leonardo DiCaprio walking down the street, you'd be like, that's.
I'd be like, that'd be so whatever to me.
You see kirbopher, you're like
Kirbopher Newgrounds, my jaw would
to the
drop.
floor,
Yeah.
to the floor, get on your knees. It's like it's so funny.
Grovel at his feet. Kirbopher. I loved Brawltons 5. I thought it was really funny.
Please do the DDD voice, please.
Please talk about the Big A dance, please. That's all I want.
God. No, that's awesome.
That is really sick. I
Enough
remember.
about yiik.
Yeah.
Enough about, no. Enough about yiik. We got to talk about the
Okay,
game that
yeah.
this guy made.
Fair enough, actually. Yeah. Sorry.
Cross
Oh my
impact.
God.
Worked on.
So
I have a question. Who's on the team for Cross Impact? Is it like, is there a team, or is it like just you and like 2 people?
So there is a team. It's pretty liquid though. A lot of them work on like a commission basis. So it's kind of all going through me. We do have like a dev server that we use, of course, but it's very like sometimes people will like need breaks, and that it happens. But the main solid team is me. I'm the director and programmer. Loaf, who also created the Lumba games, which
Easy Loaf.
is
Goated.
yeah, and he's represented. The Lumba games are represented through Pal, who's a playable character. So he's the co-director, and he's also a temp artist. So he does a lot of the temp animations while we're planning out movesets and stuff. I also do that, but to a much lesser extent. And then there is Kate, who does promotional art. StreamU, who is a streamer, and he mainly does like YouTube stuff, and he does this great content. But he also is one of the main animators. And then there's also Toon Hero. They're an animator. It's a lot of people. It's just like a list of people. But and then the final people are Neat, who does the music. He also did the music for Lumba Games, and he did the music for Hellcry, who's like really big in the yiik community. It's RPG.
Neat is also
Mundane Life.
the co-host of your podcast, right?
Yeah, me and Neat do our own little podcast called Two Dudes Spinning. It's off the walls. The whole point of it is to be like the most non-planned, off-topic, because we both talk and we'll go from one thing to the next. So yeah, Neat's really cool. Me and Neat, I've worked with Neat on a lot of other projects. He's really awesome. And then the last person is Yami, who does all the stages and stuff. And then there's like other contributors, but they're all in the credits. I can't go through all of them. But that's like the main team. All of those people are consistently working in the dev servers, showcasing their stuff and getting feedback, and that's the main group of people. And then other people are getting commissioned and stuff.
Sick shit.
I didn't realize it was a big.
yeah, it's a lot more people.
It's a process, you know?
Yeah,
I thought it was like 3 guys. And then he just went out.
Couple dudes.
No, you would think that though, especially early on, a lot of it was like really, when we first unveiled the game, it was really, really unpolished. Like you could tell it was just rough. It was really, really rough. And it still is pretty rough. We're working on it, but, no, like you would think like it's such a, like it's maybe 2 or 3 people, but no, a lot of people definitely touch. Nothing gets shown off before at least 4 members of the team sign off on it. Publicly, which is also a big reason why this game's, compared to my other games, like Showcase, doesn't get showcased nearly as like much. We don't post as often because it has to be like a whole team thing. We have to make sure what we're doing is good and it's approved by the IP holders or whatever. And yeah, so it's just a lot more people than you would think. But yeah, no, it's a pretty big group.
Fire. I need a group like that for Braindead. We don't do that.
I do so much. It's honestly, it's me and you, and
I mean,
Noah and Kev.
I show up. I show
to
up.
record.
Well,
and that's
because
it.
the thing is, Noah doesn't.
Kev
Noah and
was-
Kev don't
Pretty
need to
sure
do
Kev's
anything.
Yeah, you
supposed,
show
was
up.
supposed to
That's
do
the thing.
something back then. But I joined in and I
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
in
Kevin was
need.
supposed to do like 8 things.
I
but
wasn't
he
in need because
doesn't
I'm,
do
And
I'm
now
a
he
new
doesn't
member.
do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, you're freeloading.
he's the
We have
fourth
to
that
give you a
came
role.
after. He's the child we didn't ask for, but we love anyway. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
What the world needed.
Yeah, exactly.
the world did need a 4th and Braindead actually. That's, yeah,
Oh man.
they're begging.
So you have all those people that are a part of the team, and you obviously have like Kickstarter contributors and Patreon and shit. What was that like? The whole like Kickstarter process,
Yeah, it's
because
wild.
you got funded in 3 days, which is
Yeah.
insane to me.
So honestly, half of it is getting the Kickstarter, like approval. What's the like Kickstarter seal of quality or whatever. Things we love. I think that's what it's called. The things we love. We didn't get that, which sucks because from almost like 90% of the Kickstarter projects you see, half of those are from random people who I like have no idea what is going on in the industry. Like just investors or overall just people who browse. People browse Kickstarter like just to help fund things because they get shit in return for it. You know, maybe they get if it becomes massive, you know, they get stocks or whatever. You know what I mean? There's a lot of reasons people just do that, and so half of the money we were expecting to come from people like that, but we didn't get the Kickstarter things we love, which is apparently a lot harder to get than I thought it would be. But if we got that, we probably would have got a lot more. But no, yeah, it was really crazy. I've always wanted to do a Kickstarter when I was like really young, and I was like, I'm gonna make my game. I'm gonna make this game, and it's gonna have a Kickstarter, and people are gonna love the Kickstarter, and it'll also help advertise the game. And I was like, it's so easy. Making a game is gonna be so easy. And then I got around to doing it. I was wrong.
A little harder, a little more stressful.
Yeah. I mean, we knew going into it we were gonna have to do some kind of funding, whether it's Kickstarter or Patreon, because I know none of the artists can like work. Like they all have bills to pay, or you know, they have their own stuff going on. They if they're doing this kind of thing, they need money, which you know, it's a commercial product. I don't expect them to work for free. So yeah, we needed something. So at first we were gonna just do Patreon, and like hopefully that was gonna be enough to cover cost. And then we quickly realized Patreon just wasn't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
I was making, for me to pay the entire team, I was making like $9 a month, which is, you know, $10 is $10, right? Especially when I'm unemployed. I actually had
Damn.
carpal tunnel. I got diagnosed with carpal tunnel, and then it was this whole thing with my job, and basically I got fired for it because I couldn't show up to work, and they needed me in work on a certain day. And in the state I live in, there's no I don't remember the word, but there's no laws that prevent them from firing me for anything they want. So then I was out of a job, and I needed money to continue development, so I was like, oh shit, I'm screwed. So the $10 wasn't enough, so I talked to the team, and then we decided we're for sure doing a Patreon. And that was always kind of in our heads, but we didn't think we'd want to go through with it. But no, it was crazy. I as soon as it got submitted and it went live, the numbers just shot up, and I was like, whoa, people really like this. I went for the first week, I went hard. I saw messages like a week in, and people were like, I don't think we're going to meet this stretch goal because you guys aren't really promoting it on like other medias, or you're not emailing all these influencers. And I'm like, you have no idea. I sent 500 emails one day trying to get as many people to cover it. And guess what? Like, yeah. So it's like people, I saw like a few messages, and they were like, you guys really need to start promoting this better. And I'm like, I'm doing like everything I can. So I'm not the social media guy anymore. I don't do any of the, that. I don't reach out to anyone, or I do the licensing still, but not like promo stuff. So that's on to GZ Loaf now. He does all that. So that's a big weight off my shoulder.
Now, would you say he's better than you at it? Or
I don't know. I think I'm good at being more consistent with the updates and posting stuff, but I think he's better at handling criticism than I am. I'm not very good at handling criticism. So
that's fair.
yeah.
For the Kickstarter, how much did you raise?
It
What was like your
Our
total?
goal was 10,000, but we got 13 grand, and then Kickstarter took 2,000 of that 13,000.
Jeez.
So,
Kickstarters, they take money?
Yeah.
they take.
Of course they do. It's a service.
Wait, what?
They take
Oh, yeah, I mean-
10%, and then they also another 10% was taken for like currency transfer or whatever. And I thought that was kind of weird,
Yeah, that's odd.
but I can't really.
That's how they roll, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't really have any other choice.
Yeah. You got the goal. I mean, that's
yeah.
great.
True. I'm so thankful that we hit our goal.
Super sick.
I was so nervous because I was like, this is either gonna like flop, like it's gonna like Kickstarter projects 90% of the time. The first day is like huge. First week's pretty big. Middle week is always like it just plateaus. It's always like just the same, and then the last week's usually really good. And so I was really scared that we were gonna plateau at like $5,000, and we were just gonna sit there. And then that last week was really gonna determine whether or not we did it. And honestly, throughout, like, I mean, we got funded in 3 days, but for like the 4th day to the end, I was really nervous that people were gonna start backing out. I tried.
Is that something they can just do?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can just at any point if you donated it. I mean, someone put like $500 and they messaged me, and it was very clearly like a scam, right? It was like a bot that like I guess automatically does that, and then they take the money back right before the project ends if you don't, you know, do whatever. Right. So I was like, I saw that for someone with, and I was like, they can do that with $500. You know, maybe one of the $1,000 people. You know, and if 1,000, right. Yeah.
Because he had like, what was it, 5 people bought like the $1,000 tier?
Yeah, so I was
so
thinking during that last week, the whole time I was like, oh my god, if 3 of those people pull out, then the whole project goes under. And that's it. And I contacted Kickstarter for that, because I was like, I'm really nervous, because it's like a small amount of people donating large amounts of money.
Wait, what happened? Oh? Hold on. Hold.
Return of the King.
The goat. He's coming back. Maybe.
Oh, it's loading.
What the fuck happened?
It is loading.
Maybe his internet
There it
went out.
goes.
Sorry guys.
Hey,
Sorry, guys.
are you still recording?
Yeah, I'm good.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Continue, Dallen? Or Kolbi? Shit.
I don't... You're good. You're good.
Does it matter?
It doesn't really, no.
Okay.
I wanted to... I realized I don't have a username, and everyone else has a username. And so I'm like, that's really weird. I should probably have one of those. So I was like, I'm going to start doing that. I don't remember what I was saying.
We were talking about you were
rambling,
scared
dude.
that the people with a lot of money were going to back out.
Oh, yeah. So I reached out to Kickstarter, and I was like, what do we do if this happens? Because if the whole project goes under because of these 3 people, like, something's got, you know, that would suck. And they were like, yeah, well, you know, it happens. And I was like, no.
It can't happen. It can't happen.
Yeah, thankfully, it didn't happen.
It shouldn't.
So I feel really, I was really stressful. But yeah, no, thankfully, no one hates me that much.
And now you're all funded.
That's great.
Yeah,
Dude, I was so excited to see this game get Kickstarter and everything. I remember. Can I share this information? Because before Cross Impact was even announced, because I was asking you about your last project, which was a similar kind of thing on Twitter, just out of curiosity, and you showed me a leak for Cross Impact before that game even came out.
I was excited. It was without a doubt after that last project got canceled.
Right.
Like. My most request. I've never had requests for people want me to bring like any of my project. Like, well, none of my games before that got canceled. I've never had like a canceled project because usually by the time I announce it, it's far enough into development where I've either wasted enough resources or it has to come out. Every time I show something off publicly, it has to come out. Mm-hmm. So when that got canned, I was like, I don't know. So many people were messaging. I counted because someone was trying to tell me this was a horrible idea and that Cross Impact would be dead on arrival and no one would play it. And no, but I counted. And there were over 30 people who messaged me since the cancellation that they wanted a project like that still. Like that was still there, especially after another similar game did release on Steam that people were really, really excited for. It disappointed a lot of people. So that kind of also got a lot of people to message me like, hey, this game that we really want still isn't being made the way that we would want it made. And so I was like, yeah, I should probably do that.
I am one of those people, man. Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest.
I have a question. Go ahead, Alex. I'll say after.
Yeah. Cause
I'll say it after.
I assume you're talking about fraymakers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
talking
I'm
about
I'm not gonna turn this into dunking on fraymakers or anything, but personally, I don't know. It was just like I wasn't really the biggest fan of that roster and the overall art style and everything. I just wasn't really into it. The only thing I was like, that's cool, is Octodad and like the assists. But like, I don't know. That game looked interesting from a glance, but upon further inspection, I was like, this isn't really something I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
But Cross
Did that get shut
Impact,
down,
not
Fraymakers?
no, it's in early access and they're still working on it right now.
Yeah, it's definitely early.
It's very early. It only has like
yeah.
half the roster right now, less than that, I
damn.
think.
How much
But,
characters
I think there's like
would you say?
what 4 right now,
At
and they're
least.
planning on adding
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, they're adding
shit.
2 more to the base game, and then 4 characters for DLC. They confirmed. I want to say something. I've never publicly said this. I've only ever told my like friends in passing. But
Oh,
I
Braindead
knew
first.
when Fraymakers was about to announce their Among Us assist. I knew when it was happening, and I knew exactly the character who it was. I knew, like, I was at a party that night. I was drunk as fuck, and I was like, guys, I know who this character is going to be.
Like,
and I was like,
guys,
showing
guys,
up, I was
I
like,
know
you
who
know the like soy. So I was literally doing that. I was like,
You're the
I was-
soy jack.
check it out, guys. I know
Jack
the. But I was like, no, it's gonna be Among Us, whatever. It's either cremator, imposter, whatever they call it. But I knew it because we were talking with Innersloth, and they straight up told us. They didn't say like another game. They just said it. They straight up said it. They didn't say if it was a character or like assist or whatever. But like, we knew it was happening, and we knew when it was happening.
That's so
that
crazy
was-
that they just dropped that.
yeah.
That's so sick.
Like, hey man,
I was like really scared too, because that kind of made me less confident about it. I was like, oh my god, they're just gonna spill the beans for our shit now. But thankfully that never happened.
oh man.
But yeah, no, that was crazy. That was really, really insane.
That is insane. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know.
Question. Wait, fuck. I
Got.
forgot. Shit, I forgot
No,
my
it was.
question.
Oh,
I remember.
talking bad things about
why
Fraymakers. That's
did-
what it was.
Okay. Why did you guys get the? What was the other game called?
The game before Cross Impact.
The game before.
Indie Rumble.
Impact, yeah.
Yeah.
So why did you guys get like taken down or like
It was like, it's kind of hard to talk about, but essentially it boiled down to some people so right now I'm 20. Some people I went to high school with my sophomore year. So like this was 6 years ago. I was like 14 at the time. They made all of these like, I switched schools in high school for my sophomore year to this art school, and I really, really liked it there. But towards the end, I had this friend group and they turned on me. It's like, it's all high school drama, but basically I left. I chose to leave the high school, and then, everything was just on bad terms. And then my freshman year of college, they kind of messaged me back and they were like, we're sorry, we kind of kicked you to the curb, and we, basically made me leave the high school, because without them I really didn't have anyone there worth going for, if that makes sense. Like it was
Yeah.
a 200 person high school. Like there were only 200 people across all 4 grades. So it was like literally without having friends there, you're kind of by yourself, and I couldn't do that for the rest of my high school, even if it meant like slightly better chance at getting into a college I wanted. So anyways, basically they apologized, and then I don't remember why, but we stopped being friends again. And this time it was a lot more mutual. It was kind of just like neither of us we knew we weren't really good for each other being friends. So we kind of stepped away. And then when Indie Rumble got its Kickstarter, literally the day it went live, like 3 different people from that friend group dropped like twitlongers about me. And it was just a lot of like fake random stuff. And there was no proof. The only like proof they had was just screenshots of texting like each other. And, like, they showed it in there, and people, just took it and ran. And, I guess the the Indie Rumble team just couldn't handle it. So they kicked me out, and then when they realized they couldn't make a game without me, then they brought me on, and then everyone left. And yeah.
Wild.
So
That's crazy,
so I was kind of stranded there.
Oh, God.
Speaking of stranded,
They left like that.
Jesus Christ.
He'll come back.
Let's just give it a minute. There's
It was
I forget, someone like interviewed you for a video about it, right?
Yeah, Maximum Beppis is a complete bystander, got message about the game and was like, this game got canceled, but it was looking really promising. Like, a lot of people were really looking forward to this game. And, so Maximum was so curious about, like, what really happened. Because from an outsider's perspective, right, like, if you didn't know me or that friend group, it just looked like I was making this game, and these people just outed me for something, and then I went dead silent. You know, like, it looked bad on me. But I mean, you know, there was nothing I could have done to disprove something like that. So I Maximum messaged me and was like, I know you're not active right now, but I would love to interview you to see what happened. 'Cause something was off. Like, he knew something was off about the whole thing. It felt very personal. It was like a smear campaign. Why would they do this right when I launched my Kickstarter for my game? You know what I mean? Like, it was just really off.
Yeah,
so he interviewed me, and he interviewed the one person of the 3 people who would talk was like the main one, and she stopped responding to him when he kind of like proved. She said something. Okay, one of the things was like, it was like a list of super weird stuff, but one of them was like, they don't like that I they claimed that I left like clown Steam emoji reacts to some negative reviews of my games. And so it was such like a weird like accusation, and it was so easy to disprove, because when you go on Steam and you hit like the award thing, it'll show you what awards you've given out. So I shared my screen with Maximum, and I showed him like, here are the reviews of my games that are negative, and here are the rewards I've given out for them. And none of them obviously were the clown emoji. So,
but like at the same time, why does
it also
matter?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's a lot of stuff like that. A lot of stuff that none of it really mattered, but it's so much small stuff like that's I guess why people thought it
kind of just stacks
such a big
from
deal.
what I had seen and read and everything. It seemed like a big nothing sandwich to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it really was. You know what I mean? And so Maximum messaged her and was like, "Hey, I literally just watched him prove that what you said was false. Like, and which ruined your credibility, and I would like to know if there's anything you can say to rebuttal this, to like, to make sure that I'm like not going astray." And she blocked him on everything.
God.
It was like, and she went dead silent. So it was like
right there.
yeah. So
proves everything.
Oh man.
but yeah, then that game got canceled. I was kind of on my own for a while. I tried making my own games. It kind of fucked me up too. I had to go back to counseling for it, because I was like, I finally got what I wanted. I was making this game that I really liked making, and everyone actually seemed to like the game that I was working on for the first time. And I've always wanted this, and I finally got it, and now I lost everything that I ever wanted. Yeah.
So, how did you start the idea of bringing back Cross Impact? How did you find the people? How did did someone come up to you? Did you bring it up to people? Like, what happened?
So it's kind of a mix. I was pretty lost when it got canned, because I just lost everything I ever wanted, so I didn't really know what do I do then?
Your dream game, you know?
Yeah.
Your baby, your child.
Thankfully, what a lot of people don't know, because they weren't on like the Discord server. So most of it went down on the Discord server. When it was all happening, it was very chaotic. But on the Indie Rumble Discord server, there were 2 IP holders there. It was the Pizza Tower IP holder and the musician, and then Andrew and Brian Allenson from Mac Studios were there. And then there were those were the main 2 devs, like Pizza Tower and Yiik. We talked about them earlier.
My goats.
Probably
literally.
yeah. But both of them instantly sided with me, instantly. Was like, even if everything is true, this is dumb. This isn't a reason to try and cancel someone. And basically the whole situation. If everything in there was true, then we're holding people to way too
high of a standard.
The standard, yeah, like no one is perfect. No one is even close to like.
What does that even matter? There's no like cancelable like stuff even in it.
You were mad about a bad review? You gotta get out of here.
Like what?
It was,
Excommunicate him. He got
but
wasn't even
because
true.
of that,
You know?
it was.
Like what?
Oh my god. But yeah, because of that, I kind of knew I was still on good terms with those IP holders, so they were like, I talked to them a lot. Well, I talked to mainly Axe Studios. I didn't really keep in contact with Mick Pig too much, or the musician Sauceman. But no, I talked to them through it, and I talked to a few of my friends, and there were a handful of people who were really big into Indie Rumble who were like, "This is dumb. This whole thing's dumb," and like they stayed friends with me regardless. And so one of them was Loaf, and after months, I was talking with Loaf, and I was like, you know what? Every game that I've made since then, none of it. I'm not happy with any of it. I just wish that I still could be working on this game. And so then we started making a game under the same name. It was Cross Impact. It was like the prototype name, and it was made in, instead of Game Maker, it was Unity. It was 3D, and it was like, you guys know the game Castle Crashers?
Yeah.
Yes, actually.
It was like that, except completely 2D, so not like 2.5D. It was like completely 2D. Like, as far as gameplay goes, it was like a 3D game, but with just, two directions.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. It was like a beat 'em up thing. It was tons of fun, and it was going to be more like our end goal was a good single player indie crossover experience, so I could get that same kind of satisfaction I got from Indie Rumble, but I was still working on something in like Unity that I'm more familiar with. And so we did that for a little bit. We actually got the license to Viridian from VVVVVV, which later I talked with Terry, and we kind of turned that into the stage rights, which is why we have a VVV or V6 stage in Cross Impact. But we got so it was basically and then I talked with Andrew for a bit, and Andrew was like, "Yeah, you're good to go." So it was like Ortheo, Pal, Alex, and Viridian were like the four main characters of the original Cross Impact, and I couldn't, I don't know, I was working with Loaf on it, and it felt off, I guess. Like, it wasn't what I really, really wanted. You know what I mean? Like, it's what I thought I wanted, but it just wasn't the same. And on top of that, I couldn't get the movement to feel right, like I could in Game Maker, and all this other stuff. So we wound up, halfway through, we were like, fuck it. We're going to go back to Game Maker, and we're going to get it done the same way. But we're going to do it right this time. And that turned into Cross Impact.
Oh, okay.
And the pitch I had when we were switching had 6 characters, just like how we wound up with 6 characters, except the only 3 that stayed was Ortheo, Pal, and Alex. The other 3, I guess I could say it, because it doesn't really affect what we're working on. But the other 3 were, no, and V1. I really wanted V1 back. So it was, the other 2 was the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb and Anton from Anton Blast, which wound up getting replaced with Jacket and Tori. I mean,
good characters though.
Yeah, depending on what you like is I mean, Jacket's pretty huge. Hotline Miami's massive. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure my folks know what Hotline Miami is.
For them,
So
most part, a lot.
Dude, that's crazy. Cult of the Lamb and Anton Blast. I've only ever kickstarted 2 games, and it's Cross Impact and Anton Blast.
Wouldn't Anton have been crazy? That would have been.
I've heard
that
of
would've been
Cult
sick.
of the Lamb. I never heard of Anton Blast though.
Cult of the Lamb is huge.
Yeah.
It's the newest, biggest roguelike that everyone's playing, and then Anton Blast is another Wario-like, kind of like Pizza Tower, but it's not focused on speed, it's more on platforming. Sick either way. You ended up with a great roster.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with Tori. It was shot in the dark because for a long time we were sitting on the roster we had now, except without Tori. So it was going to be at some point 5 characters, and then one night, and I don't remember why, but for those who don't know, Tori's made by Ciactro, who's a Russian game dev. Or German, sorry. They're a German game dev. They're extremely friendly. I kept in contact with them after the Indie Rumble stuff, and they have just been, like, so supportive. And so, I really wanted to represent them somehow, but I couldn't I couldn't tie anything down. And so, Tori being a character, to me, worked really well, because I could make a lot of those animations, right? Like the Tame anims. And they would look passable enough. And so I called a team meeting, and it was very much so like, hey, I'm going to add this character. Team, by the way, I'm going to add this character, and it will be done in a week. 2 months later, I did get around to finishing it. But no, yeah, so that was kind of a shot in the dark, random. One night I was like, I'm going to do this, and I eventually did do it, so... Yeah, that was fun.
And I were completely fine with it.
Tori's great.
Yeah.
All of the games he's mentioned, by the way, are fantastic, and everyone should check them out if you haven't. Tori's a really fun 3D platform, especially Tori. That game's like $1.
Yeah, and Tori 2.
And if you buy Tori 1 and Tori 2, that's $2. Like, what do you lose by playing that? Oh, it's so good.
They're just great games.
Fantastic games. Great little 3D platformers.
For sure. And Ciactra's made a lot of other great games. I really love
Kiwi
Tasty
64,
Ramen.
Macbeth.
Kiwi 64, yeah.
Tasty Ramen's cool.
Phenomenal.
What a talented dev.
Yeah. I wish that I had that, like, drive to make high quality short titles like that. I'm still learning, obviously. I think, like, I'm far from a perfect game dev. I'm doing everything I can, you know, but like Ciactra is such an inspiration. Like, being able to pump out games that are high quality and short like that, like, it's just, I don't know. It seems easy on, like, the surface, right? You look at that and you're like, yeah, that probably,
on paper,
you know, yeah, on paper it's so simple. But,
and then you
like,
get in there and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That's sick.
I have another question. How does like promotion of how does that work? Promotion of like a game or something, or like your games with.
Promotion's what I struggle with the most, so I'm probably the worst person to answer that.
But at least you have some knowledge of it, better than like normal people.
You got something.
Yeah. I honestly, I went crazy on Twitter for promotion when the Kickstarter went live. We had like teasers leading up to Cross Impact, and then we just revealed it with the Kickstarter. Like, that was the official reveal with everything at once. And so for that first like little area, I went crazy with it on Twitter. I used Reddit. I don't use Reddit. That's one platform I'm just not on ever. I don't really care for the platform, but I used it to promote it, and I talked with some of the IP holders, the ones that I'm closer with. Like, I don't talk to the Hotline Miami devs, like, at all. Denaton, it was a pretty quick exchange. We outlined everything, and I got the license. But, like, obviously, like I said, with, you know, Ack or Lumba, I'm really close with the devs, so I can, you know, I can... They will go out of their way to help me and like retweet and get to their big audience. Ultra Kill did it. I'm shocked that New Blood did that. I know that New Blood's like pretty selective with who they work with nowadays, and so I'm really shocked that they like retweeted it like that. But that helped a lot. We got a lot of people from like New Blood who are fans. So basically, a lot of it is that because it's by nature a crossover, it's easy to get a lot more people, like bigger people involved in helping promote. Like, it kind of, I hate saying this, but in a way it kind of promoted itself because of you know, the other people
because
involved.
of the other IPs and
who it's associated with and everything.
Yeah, they did more work than I ever could have, so I'm really appreciative for that.
That's so sick.
No, I was thinking of something, but I don't know. I in the grand scheme of things, I wouldn't think it would be a good place. But then again, I haven't really seen much, like, games promote themselves on it. like on TikTok, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
That might be a good place to try, but I haven't seen any games really promote
Yeah.
that.
No, I did that. My first ever commercial release was on Steam. It's a
Yeah.
parody game called Dallen Clicker Ultimate, where you click on my face, like a real picture, like a high school picture. I made it in high school in like study hall. It was super dumb, but my class loved it, and I was like, well, I want to make games and put them on Steam eventually. I might as well just make a deluxe version of this. I did that, and
Yeah.
I remember what I did was like I made a TikTok account because everyone it was like I think it's right now, and I could be wrong, but I think it's the most popular social media platform of all time.
Yeah.
For sure.
I believe so.
Definitely
was
right
like-
now.
I was
And the
like, damn.
algorithm is pretty good on.
Yeah, it's generous as fuck. It's so generous. No, but yeah, I made tweets and I made TikTok videos and I was like, I made a game and I put it on Steam and it's my face and you click on my face and gave out a shit ton of keys and honestly, all of the reviews for that game, like 90% of them come from like random TikTok people. One of them like really thought it was hilarious. It's not even that funny. It's high school humor, you know what I mean? But like someone really, really liked it to the point to where they made my face their profile picture and, like would message me. And so in a future update, I put their real life face in the game.
That's
It's
sick.
awesome, man.
That's sick.
So they're one of like the playable characters that just changes the button you click.
That's actually so fire.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, TikTok is really good. I don't use it for promotion. I definitely should be though. It is.
Maybe you
Really?
guys should try it out.
Yeah. I'm telling I've told the loaf to
Yeah.
get on that. It's on our big massive to-do list.
On the cork board you have in the office.
Because Braindead had a TikTok. We just posted one.
You only
made
have
it, Kev?
one, right?
Or Alex. I think Alex made it in like, how long did it take you to make that?
No, it was Kev
No.
made it. That's the
Kev
one
made
thing
it?
he's ever done.
Yeah.
He made a TikTok.
Well, he made it in like, I don't know how long.
Like
just-
an
he put,
hour.
like Subway Surfers footage. It wasn't even. It was just bad. So it got like what, like 100 likes or something. Like it boomed for like because we had like there was like nothing. We just made the account.
Yeah.
Like, only we followed it, and it just like it's caught attention, I guess. Or something.
TikTok's really good for that.
It's really easy.
I've seen a
you
couple
put-
game devs do that sort of thing, and it's yeah. I think it's something you should definitely look into.
No, I agree. It's
Just if you do it right.
crazy. It's insane to me how it's like TikTok makes everything like it just blows up. It's so easy to like for anything to blow
Yeah.
up.
And plus, it's good at like directing towards new audiences. Like, don't know anything. Shit, don't know. They don't know shit about indie games, right? But then there's
Yeah.
people like it'll also go into people who like love indie games, and that's their whole like thing.
Yeah. No,
No,
it
get new
doesn't-
people and people that just never knew about the game. So
yeah.
I think that would be fun.
I'll have my girlfriend will like message me or she'll be like, "Yo, I just saw this cute frog game, capybara game or whatever by this indie developer. Like, you need to be doing this." And I'm like, I'll try.
Maybe.
I'll try. But no, yeah.
Or like a anniversary or something, you should make her a game.
I did that once. It was
Shit.
do you know what's it called? It was this really popular game when I was way younger. On the iPhone. It was like a frog.
Frog
Cut the rope? No. It's not a frog.
Cut the rope.
No. It was like
When I was a kid in the 80s, I was a cool kid. Frogger was huge.
it was this big game. No, it was like you could keep frogs and they jump on lily pads. I sound so stupid right now. Hold
No,
on.
I think I know.
Really?
How
Dude,
old was it?
It's pretty old. I mean, it was like one of the like pocket frog. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called.
Pocket Frog.
I'm looking it up.
I'm curious.
Yeah, Pocket Frogs by Nimblebit. This game was like huge when I first got.
Oh,
my,
I remember this.
iPhone.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
this.
it was basically this. I made this, but with pixel art, and like it was like all of her favorite frogs, and it had like one of them was like had her face on it or whatever.
That's,
It was really really basic, but it
yeah,
was like,
that's. I mean,
That's
it's
cute,
something,
though.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun.
This game was straight heat.
fire.
Lord, bring it back.
Bring back Pocket Frog. Get him again. Get
I'm
Pocket
sure.
Frog
Yeah,
to
I
get
know.
again.
Yeah, let's
There
get some
was
Pocket
one
Frog
game.
rep.
This is this is way off topic, but there was this one game. Is that okay? Do you mind if I like go?
No, go ahead.
Somewhere
it's fine.
completely
Fine.
different.
This is your episode.
Sorry
man.
for like. I hate like taking over like this. It's
No,
just,
it's fine.
It's okay.
That's the point.
Now I'm gonna have to. Now I'm gonna have to find the name of it. It was. Let me try and look this up. Never mind. I got it first try. It's called Lil Pirates, and it's published by Capcom.
I actually
What the
think I know what that is.
Lil
Really?
Pirate.
Like-
Like, yeah.
Like Lil
Mobile
Pirate.
game.
Okay. What is
Do you
this? I've
see
never
it?
seen this.
It's an
I've seen
iPhone
this.
game.
I never played it because
could, like-
I've seen it.
You could make your own like crew, and you could upgrade your pirate ship or whatever.
Yeah, I think I remember I wanted to play it, but I couldn't because I never
Yeah.
had it.
I loved this as like this was one of those mobile. There's like 5 mobile games that like really made my like mobile gaming catalog, and this was like probably the most prominent one. And I love anything with character customization, dude. That's like an instant draws me in. Anything with character customization, I'll play Shit Simulator if it has.
You should
character
make someone
custom-
like Little Pirates. I'll be fire.
Shitting
I would
Simulator.
love to. So I gotta get on that. While the
You do,
while it's
yeah.
hot.
I would, yeah, I would play that.
But yeah, no, Little Pirates got delisted. It was I didn't realize that Capcom published it, but no, it was a Capcom thing, and then they delisted it. So now you cannot play it at all. And since it was all
Unless you
server-based,
have a phone.
And it was only on iOS, so you can't even like. It's not
you
like
can't
an
even,
APK you can get.
Yeah. There is literally zero way to ever play this now. Like
Oh, wow.
it's gone. The only remnants of it is what was online before it was delisted, and like YouTube, really shitty YouTube videos. So it's just, that's one of those games I would love to play again for nostalgia. And there was a lot of DSiWare games like that too. That like I just remember. I have such fond memories with like growing up, and no one talks about them, and no one remembers it, and it's either delisted or DSiWare, or games are like impossible to get nowadays for one reason or another.
They're kind of hard to find, yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's so many games like that like really just made my childhood.
That's so sick. Would
Yeah.
you ever consider adding like a mobile game representation in Cross Impact? Like
Oh, for
I couldn't
sure.
think of one specifically off the top of my head, but
Yeah, no.
like a
Oh,
cut the rope
I would add-
stage.
anything.
Cut the rope stage?
Omnom would be crazy.
I mean,
Omnom assist.
Omnom moveset. Omnom moveset would go nuts.
I mean, what are
Imagine.
some like mobile games that are like active right now?
Geometry
I
know,
Dash,
like,
I
they're
could
not
think
too
of.
good.
Or
Would you
well,
say?
Jetpack Joyride?
Dash is like Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah.
Get buried.
I mean,
get buried in the
look,
game.
oh, you could have a geometry dash stage.
Plants vs Zombies.
Is
It's
it?
not indie, but you know.
It's not indie anymore. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's not Indian.
same with Angry Birds. Angry Birds was indie until just now, like the Sega acquisition.
Oh
ruined
yeah,
that.
Sega owns them now. I forgot
It-
about
it
that.
ruined any chance of Angry Birds happening.
Man.
Flew out the window. That happened. It,
Man,
like,
that sucks.
and that
Crossy
would be
Road.
Crazy. If,
Crossy Road
was-
representation. Or
Crossy
Flappy
Road
Bird.
has like, Crossy Road has they collabed with like
Namco.
Capcom. There's like a Crossy Road Namco. You're right, Namco. They have like a what is it?
Yeah, Pac-Man.
The prince from Katamari Damacy.
They do, yes.
And
they also
And,
have
They have a lot of
Disney
characters in that
Crossy
game.
Road.
It's insane.
yeah, they do. It's really weird.
I have not played Crossroad. in
they have a
years.
Disney Crossy Road, which is wild.
Yeah.
Is that still around? I remember that.
I don't know, but I remember it was around.
Disney Crossy Road?
Oh, I have a mobile game in mind, but it's like starting to like branch out. It's have you ever heard of Stumble Guys?
It sounds really familiar.
It's
Sounds
a
really
game that we haven't played in a long, but we love it. We love that game.
Big fan of Stumble Guys. It's
And I think it would actually be like reachable.
that'd be yeah, I think that'd be really funny as like an assist. One of the Stumble Guys characters. It's it might look similar to another game, but
Yeah, I'm
Trust
looking
me,
into
it's
it.
a
This
lot.
looks kind of familiar.
No,
it's a lot better.
nothing like any other game you've seen. It's a fun
Oh,
little battle
But
royale
you
game.
also have to. You also
Mr.
Have,
Mr. Stumble. I see
Yeah.
here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's,
Mr.
that's the guy.
Stumble.
That's the guy.
exactly.
Dude, I'd
If you
unironically
want-
kill for that.
If you want, I will reach out for an assist. If that's
Holy
That
shit.
would be
that's
awesome.
That would be
I'll-
so
I'll do
sick.
that, 'cause-
And
Genuinely,
you know,
I
we could play it after. We could play it sometime. We could all play it.
Dude, I'm
sometime.
gonna be honest. Stumble Guys is such a
really-
clear like rip of that whole thing, but I love it so much. Oh,
I really.
it's actually really good.
I actually have a. We've.
Oh, no,
spent,
No, wait.
I
Kobe,
spent like 20 hours on it.
unironically, Stumble Guys is better than Fall Guys, and I mean that. I mean that.
I mean that.
And
I
it's
played
free.
More
Play it.
Stumble Guys.
Trust.
Wait,
Trust
I don't
the
know if this
process.
is indie, fellas.
Is it
I don't know
not?
if this is
No,
indie
surely it
media.
is.
I don't know what.
Over 2,000 employees. That is a lot of people. And
They
they've
also
worked on a
collabed
lot
with
of
the
different
NFL
licensed stuff. Yeah, and like
That
Video
exists.
Games
And, like, Nerf.
Marvel.
and Nerf.
Yeah, I mean maybe. Hey, I'll still try. It really, honestly,
Yeah.
I don't like to restrict it to like just. Okay, obviously we're not gonna go out there and get like The Rock or whatever, you know. But like,
Yeah.
I'm not like. I'm
Yeah,
not
when are you
super-
adding Mario
It
to
might have
Cross
been
Impact?
More indie.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
definitely more indie when we first found it.
Yeah.
It was
But,
only
like,
on mobile. It wasn't on PC. Or it wasn't on PC. It wasn't on Xbox. It's going to Xbox.
It was a really
Real.
small game when we found it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I can get the license, like if this is something I could realistically work with the IP holders on and get the license to, then I'm willing to try.
That would
That's
be
kind of the bigger
really-
question.
Dude, that'd be
That's
so
so
sick. I'm
sick.
telling you. Genuinely, that's
Yeah.
huge.
That is genuine.
For real. Oh my god.
This-
Are there
We'll
any
give you,
characters?
We'll give you skins. We'll give you the skin.
Yeah.
Alternative skins.
You can join
There's a
our
banana
Stumble Guys
skin
org.
that we spent money on. We spent $6 for that.
I've
Oh,
spent
real
so much
life
money
money?
on Stumble
Yep,
Guys.
all real life money.
Stumble
I spent
Guys
like
is like one of the 3 games I've played in my entire life that I have spent money on to get like cosmetics in.
Yeah. It's
It's
up
that
there
in
with
For-
Fortnite.
it's that in
just
Fortnite.
Crazy.
It's better than Fortnite. On God, I mean
It-
that.
I'm talking about like games I've spent money on.
Yeah.
It's unironically,
I think
spent
it is
money in
just
that
those
game.
two, and then maybe some
Excuse-
mobile games or something.
Excuse my ignorance, because I don't know. I haven't played this before. But what does this game have over Fall Guys?
Okay.
Queue time. It's so easy
Queue
to just
time.
queue up.
Yeah,
It's so easy
it's-
to queue up.
That's the main thing. Is it's faster. Fall Guys. It'll take you so long to get into a game, and it takes like 20 minutes for it to end, and you like lose towards the end, and you want to die because you spend like 12 minutes like in a game.
You could go
Yeah.
like
A Stumble
you lose real
Guys
quick.
entire
Oh,
match from beginning to end lasts no more than 6 minutes.
Oh, that's cool.
It's super
like 10
quick,
minutes.
super fun, and
For the
snappy. It's
Yeah.
great.
in between. Yeah, and if you die, you don't want to kill yourself.
Yeah, you just re-queue.
Yeah,
I have
when
a,
you're with your
um,
friends and it's fun.
I have like a really bad practice that I do. It's strictly to help me grow as a developer. But whenever there's a game that I play that I really, really like, I'll try and recreate it to the bare bones, like basics, as best as I can in like Unity, like just to better understand my C# abilities.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't know what his
I
deal
don't know.
is.
when Fall Guys like first blew up, I tried recreating it like for multiplayer to learn. That was my goal, not to like you know, to learn like how I could make a multiplayer game like that in Unity. And I actually wound up being able to use some of that later in a game.
Like,
Actually, this is kind of out there, and I'm sure it's fine. What are your guys' thoughts on me revealing cross impact information like right now, like just dropping out some info, and then we could
I mean,
it's-
how deep are we in it?
we could
We're not exactly
We're
an
pretty
hour
deep.
in.
We can drop some.
So
okay.
Let's
I'm gonna
drop
tell
some.
you guys something. I'll reveal something
If-
publicly, and then once
This
this
is a real
episode
fan.
goes live, we'll the cross impact Twitter will retweet it, and I'll try and spread this around. But
Ooh, this will go up. For future reference, this goes up Tuesday. Like not today,
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
next Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I
That's not
actually
perfect.
I move next Tuesday, so I'll actually be gone. But I'll let the team know, and someone on the team will get that shit.
All right.
Perfect.
I'm moving to another state. I'm moving away.
Nice.
But-
Oh shit.
So, anyways, I was working on that prototype, and I later was able to reuse a lot of that code for another multiplayer game that I actually did wind up making. and that game is called Pulp Panic, and it's really, really niche. It's a FPS boomer shooter, King of the Hill kind of game.
Yeah.
Really, it's really out there. It was really big on Yiik, which is like the like Yiik community kind of.
Y2K sub,
But
not
essentially,
subreddit, Discord.
yeah, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's very out there. But one of the assists that we've been working on that I actually just wrapped up was Orange from Pulp Panic. So
That's fun.
he
I like
has he spawns. So it's a boomer shooter, right? So it's like a amazing game. He spawns and then he says like one of his lines, and I got the original voice actor back. It wasn't hard because we're friends, but he cocks his gun and then he shoots, and it's really cool. It's
That's fun.
I'll go ahead and I'll put some screenshots I'll send to you guys too.
And I can throw them up on screen
put
right
them on
now.
screen.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Boom!
there it is.
Bam!
But it's like it's so goofy to see. Like, if you look right in the game, they're all very. I did a lot of the 2D art, and the 2D art was inspired by like, it's kind of weird because you probably won't get it when you see it, but it's very like Pizza Tower pixel art inspired, if that makes sense. Like,
I see.
like MS Paint kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's goofy, and so like the Orange, who's like one of the 4 playable characters that you can pick from, is like such a goofy, wild face, like super serious, and then like whenever you get hit, like he starts like crying, his eyes get really big. It's really funny. It's such a goofy, weird game, and we could all
very
literally
animated.
play it. Yeah, it's just weird. It's super weird shit. But yeah, so it's cool to like. That's my only game that's currently up that has servers running for it because it's all multiplayer. It's all like online. You don't download anything. It's all through itch.
That's
But yeah, it's. I'm happy. So in a way, Fall Guys may help me make Pulp Panic because without Fall Guys, I wouldn't have had that code to work with for the online stuff.
That's sick.
Just kind of relevant. Kind of
That's
a
some
weird.
good information.
Shout out
Kind
Fall
of a
Guys
weird
and
thing to
by
say to a
proxy.
boomer.
Shout out Stumble Guys.
Yeah, true.
What were you saying, Exile?
It's kind of weird too, like how Fall Guys made a boomers. You know what I mean?
That's really funny.
Yeah.
It's the pipeline.
Are there?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Are there any characters or like games that you would want to have in Cross Impact, but they're like out of reach? Like,
There's a few.
can
I can
you
think of a few.
like what do you what you got, Ruin?
So my favorite game of all time is Omori, like of all time ever, and that's just not happening for a few reasons. But as much
You
as I
like,
would love Yiik and Amorti to be a thing.
Dude, I genuinely I would kill so much. I'd kill so hard for a game where I could play as Alex Yiik and beat up Omori. That's so funny.
Isn't it? It's the greatest idea of all time.
Literally, it
never
is.
happened.
But yeah,
It's
that's
so
fair.
upsetting.
Why couldn't it happen?
I imagine Omocat's hard to work with.
Yeah, Omocat's notoriously difficult to contact and get a response from. I knew about Omori right before it came out. So Omori had a Kickstarter, and I had a decent amount of people following it before, but like it came out, I heard about it the day it came out, and then like a week later it blew up. It got really, really popular. It like became the indie game of the year or whatever. And then so obviously when a game blows up. So like for instance, I've worked with McPig before Cross Impact, and it was a super easy license to get. He was just cool with literally whatever I wanted to do. He didn't really care. And then when coming back for Cross Impact, it was kind of like it was right after Pizza Tower blew up. It came out.
Pizza Tower came out
and then
exploded.
everyone talked about it. Yeah, everyone talked about it. And so obviously the license, like getting the license was a little bit more tough because he was like, well, now we have a lot of eyes looking at us. So you really can't do these things. And if you have to, like it's a lot more rules to it now. It gets a lot more complicated. Yeah. And so I figure like, not only is getting in contact with Omocat hard, but I think if we ever did, I think we would have a lot of rules to follow on top of Steam's regulations, the like whatever kind of rating board thing we have to go through. I don't know for sure which one we're going through yet. I'm sure it's going to be MSRB, but like, or ESRB or whatever. And it's just it's a lot more. Yeah. So I think if we ever did get if we ever even could get in contact with OhKolbi, there's no guarantee that they would say yes. They probably would say no. To be honest, I don't think this is something they would go for, as upsetting as that is. And even if they did say yes, then there's this whole list of things. So it's like there's 3 different things kind of going against OhKolbi or Omori getting in the game. As bad as I want,
I feel like there will be a little bit more of a chance once everything is like fully worked on, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna establish, like, it's not gonna be like a waste.
There's one, and I can't say it, and it kills me because I'm under contract. Like they're really, really strict, and I can't say who, but it's this really big character, huge. Like, I'm literally saying
character that hasn't been unveiled yet, right?
Yeah. Like way down the line, like after the Kickstarter passes our current objective. But anyways, they gave us the thumbs up, but they said we cannot start working on it until like after the game comes out. Like, they want to make sure that this is like right. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, I recently put in the public Discord, I was like, what do we need to do to make sure this game is well received is the thing, because they're going to be looking at the reviews. So
and guys, I'm gonna leak. It stands Undertale. It stands from Undertale.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is Mr. Stumble. We got him in.
It's
Stumble guy.
It's PewDiePie.
It's Mario, guys. We got him in finally.
The biggest indie game.
We got all the Nintendo characters, or one character just put in one.
Into the indie game.
Rolled into one ball.
One
He's actually joining Nintendo.
Katamari Damacy style.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am so like, if I could, right? Like, literally at one point, because this character is so huge, we were considering just rushing the game into early access. And I don't mean this to throw shade at any other game, but I've seen other games get thrown into early access and then people will defend it because it's like, it's not done yet. Why are you leaving negative reviews? You know what I mean? And so I'm like, oh, well, if of these other people can get away with it, I'm sure as hell we can. But then we were like, oh, that's probably not a good idea. We should probably finish the game before releasing.
Just work on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we might as well just actually finish it first.
Plus, I feel like you get better feedback.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I'm really thankful we didn't do that. But it was like, it's such a big deal that we were like, oh my god, if this means we can work on it now. It was like,
that's kind of huge. It was really
right now the same situation.
It was really what's the word? I guess comforting to hear that apparently none of the Kickstarter characters because that was a tier for those who don't know. Yeah. The $1,000 tier was you can recommend a character to get in the game, and they'd contact them and work it out. It was really comforting to hear you say there's no misses.
Yes.
They're all good.
They're really good. I'll say I've spent the last week, and I've wanted to talk about this publicly. I just haven't had the chance to yet. But I spent the last week working on Cowboy. We're wrapping him up now.
From Yomi Hustle.
From Yomi Hustle, which is a DLC character. So I'm kind of spending a lot of my time on the DLC right now, getting it so I want to. The dream is to do what Multiverses did: launch and then consistently add characters really quickly, to the point where people really want to like stay with it. That's the dream. I don't think it'll happen, but like now that I'm wrapping up the first DLC character, and the game's not even out yet.
It might happen.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Cool.
There's what are we talking about? So
we're talking about DLC. Hopefully, it happens. Well,
I got sidetracked. There was what was it?
I also
Alex,
got sidetracked. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm lost.
Dude, this is gonna kill me. This is gonna kill me. It was
where were we?
Wait.
None of us know.
This is
I was so focused on. I was so fucking into what you were just saying. I lost everything else.
Me too.
Alex talking about how he was so relieved that you got the word on all the characters.
Oh yeah,
all the characters were good. Uh,
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's right. The Kickstarter characters.
shut up.
Gotcha.
So now that Cowboy is like basically done, aside from polish, I don't handle any of that though. I'm going to finish character number 8, who's also really close and is a. I don't think it's going to be a character that brings anyone new to the game. Character number 8. I don't. It's a character that people, I think, want. But definitely no one who wasn't interested is going to be like, oh my god, they have blank. I got to play it now. It's it's a smaller. It's like in the realm of like Tori, where it's like some people know it, some people don't.
Okay.
No one's gonna play it for that. But
That's cool.
anyways, once that character's done, character number 8, then we're going full ham on the Kickstarter characters, and I've gotten a lot of the programming stuff done for that. As far as licensing goes, we still don't have the license for all of them. We do for most of them. There's one that we're missing right now. And I'm gonna do everything in my power to try and get that to go through well, but the first one, we have like a very loose order of how we're like what order we're gonna put them in, and one of them we've already gotten a lot of progress on, and it is such a like goofy, completely like insane pick. Like it makes no sense, and I don't know why anyone on Earth would ever spend $1,000 to get this character in a fighting game, but it is like it's a character I never would have like wanted or gone out of my way to add, but I am so happy they're in this game as a playable character.
Yeah.
Like
That's fun. I like
there's-
that.
it's so hard to talk about without like saying exactly who it. But like
Yeah,
the
it's
second it's
hard.
revealed, if you look back, it'll be like, oh my god, that's such a like out there random
Oddball.
weird character.
Yeah.
I love that though. That's sick.
Yeah,
That's fun.
I have 2 questions.
yeah.
I have 2 questions. First, I was supposed to ask this like a while ago because I wanted to. Once the big one comes out, once everything's like done and shit, would they help you promote anything? Maybe are they that type of like people who?
I think so. I think they will retweet it at the very least. I think they
That's
will.
nice.
Every collaboration they've had in the past, they have been very big. They don't have too many, right? And it's one that like
really good.
yeah. It's like it's a big deal. It's one of those that
Yeah.
I'm going to be putting on my resume. Like I worked with this company, and you know this one. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know it. You don't even have to look this one up.
Yeah, you automatically know.
Yeah.
Another one. I feel like, or actually, I guess it kind of leads it too. Have any like smaller like indie games reached out to you guys?
We've
You
had a
know.
few. Yeah, we've had a few.
Because I'd
There was-
imagine that. Sorry, but I'd
No, go
imagine that like if you think about it, this would really even help other games just being in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We our big thing was for assist, we really wanted to represent franchises that are really small. Like really like for instance, we got Taco Tom as an assist, which is from Taco Tom 2, which is a really niche game. No one
Super
knows about
niche.
this game.
Yeah, dude.
The only reason that it's somewhat known is because of like Game Grumps made a video on it. And then there's characters like oh my god, I gotta try and remember which ones we revealed. In the last blog post, we haven't publicly revealed it, but it doesn't really matter. The last blog post we revealed that Clear from Madwatch Asylum 2 is gonna be in there, and that the bunny from Hop Squash is gonna be in there in the game as assist. So those are again, like all 3 of those games, super niche. I don't really expect anyone to really know unless they're really big into like the indie game community. So
but it's still something cool.
It's fun to include that kind of stuff, It's fun to give those games a voice and some
back to
form
the
of
community.
representation. Yeah, it's
It's
really
Yeah,
nice. I
I think-
think I like that.
if literally anyone in like the Discord server, for instance, makes a game and puts it on anything and then draws up like or like approaches me and is like, hey, could we get my character in the game as an assist? I doubt I would say no. You know what I mean? Unless like
Yeah.
like it's anything that's small enough for them to be able to reach out to me. like or for me to reach out to them and like make some kind of deal. You know, I'm 100% down as in any way that we can. I know someone approached early on asking if they can add their character, if I can add their character to the game, and a character's a lot of work and a lot of money. So we're very, very selective with who we add as a character. But I made a deal with them, and it was that if they can sprite their character like in the style and animate it like that, I mean, I'll throw it in the engine and we'll tweak it and we'll just add it to the, you know what I mean? It's what I have to pay for the like render and stuff. So I've had like, I've offered that I think to 2 different people now. And so now it's kind of up to them. You know what I mean? If they do it, they do it. I'll put it in the game. But if it's a lot of work, which it is, and it's expensive, and they'll see that. They probably both already have kind of, that's probably settled in. Like, you know what I mean? If they can do it,
Yeah.
I
can,
hope they do. Yeah, but if they can't, that's cool too. You know, at least they had the opportunity. You know what I mean? So, like, for really, really small stuff, if they have the like ability to do it, and they really, really want a character, I'll probably offer that. But for smaller stuff, and they don't really, they're just like, oh, I released my game, I'd like it to be represented. You know, assists are perfect for that. It gives us so much like leeway for something like that doesn't take us a lot of work to do. We can represent a lot more from that, which I really like. I know adding assist was kind of 50-50 amongst the team, and I was really scared about the public's thought on having assist in an already filled to the brim game with all this wacky meter shit. And no, I think it's been pretty good. I much prefer the game with assist than without it, so I'm really happy with that choice. But yeah,
speaking of the assists and the meter and everything, I'm just curious, will there be a way to like toggle that, do you think, or no?
Probably not. We'll probably keep that from it. The only reason I say that is because there is a lot riding on the meter now. Like, there is special canceling, there is obviously assist are like huge. I'd have to rework a lot to have that be toggleable now, because it's so integral to the netcode and everything. Honestly, it's hard to play a game now without assist on the current source code.
I have a question. What is an assist? Like, I haven't really known at all.
So have you played like oh my god, what's a Alex? Can you help me out here? This is kind of hard to explain.
Doesn't Marvel vs. Capcom have assists?
It does, yeah.
There's a couple games. The new Mortal Kombat has assists, where another character comes in and like does something to fuck up the other character, and then they leave. That's kind of
all it is. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't think I've seen that in like this type of
really
like game.
Yeah, so
Well, 2D like
so
it's very
Fraymakers
reminiscent
did
of a
it.
different one.
Yeah, Fraymakers did it, which was our biggest thing. We were like, oh my god, people already kind of compare us to Fraymakers. Fraymakers is doing what we do on a much larger scale with a lot more like, and I don't mean this like critically, but just a lot more questionable picks. Like, a big reason why I was so still wanting to make Cross Impact was like, Fraymakers does not scratch that itch for me personally.
Yeah.
And I know it didn't for a lot of other people, because like the cast is just not like, it's not indie character. It is indie characters, right? But it's very, all of them have either been in a platform fighter before or like don't really offer enough to where like like to the other characters they did get, right? Like to the assist they have Pepino and Radian and the kid.
I personally don't find a lot of those characters just interesting at all.
I don't either.
Like,
I don't either. And
even because like, and that's not even me being like, oh, I've never played this game, I'm an asshole. It's just like, even looking into it, I'm like, what the fuck does what's his name? I don't even remember the character's name, but from Bitch Rip Runner, I'm like,
Commander Video.
Who cares?
Yeah.
No one's like, oh my god, Commander Video.
They have it.
He's such a nothing character that just exists to be played in a video game, and that's it. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I 100%. I like And I love
And that's
choice
no
division,
offense.
but I
I'm
love
sure that
bit
game is
trip.
great. I'm just like,
Yeah. No, of course. I 100% agree. And like I love Bit Trip and I love Commander Video. And I think it's a great character, but it's like compared to what they could have done.
yeah.
Like they got the license to Peppino from Pizza Tower. Like I said,
Crewmate
there's
from
this,
Among Us. Fucking.
like why is that not
They-
playable?
They have
What?
Octodad as a playable character, which is fun.
That
Like
one's
why
good.
why aren't more characters on the roster like Octodad? Like who's like this stealth elf from Skylanders looking person from what are they from Slay the Spire?
Yeah, the Watcher.
I'm so indifferent. I don't know.
No, I am too.
There's
I'm
so many
100%
more
am.
and they have the licenses, which is crazy. They have all these characters as assists that would be so much cooler on the base roster. It doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly.
That's
That was
it.
literally. I feel the same way, and I'm and, like, it's not just us. Like a lot of the negative reviews, and I like, for the record, I love fraymakers. I do. I think it's very, very flawed, and I think it's very, very early, and I do not want it to. I don't want to compete. You know what I mean? And I don't even think we really can, because when fraymakers succeeds, we also succeed. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the more people who know about
Yeah.
fraymakers, the more people who know about like indie platform fighters, and then the more people who know about that, the more people who look into games like this, and the more people who get eyes on Cross Impact. I've seen a lot of people come from fraymakers to us. Like, I don't like how fraymakers is taking too long on their updates, and you guys are new, and you guys are looking like you're making a lot of progress for a short amount of time. You know, like I've seen a lot of that. So that's like, as like a fan, right? I feel the same exact thing, right? I'm trying to do what I like would want to see.
Yeah, which is always kind of the best. you know?
Yeah, that's what I try.
Being able to see from a fan perspective that you can like actually do.
Yeah.
And then you do
Like, if
it,
you like,
and
for
then
example, there's
the
a lot
other
of people
fans
who
happy.
wish they could do that
Mhm.
with their game.
You're out there
Like-
doing it.
Yeah.
I was so scared with like the assist though, because that's Fraymaker's big thing was assist. Like they had two things: it's an indie crossover platform fighter, and they have assist. And we had one of those already, and so kind of doing both was a little close to the edge, and
Yeah.
that really scared me. But it was so much better for the gameplay. Like I did so many playtesting sessions, and always consistently the one that people were having more fun with were the ones with assist. And they don't take anything to add. Like an assist character takes maybe a day to add, maybe. You know what I mean? Like it takes nothing for us to add it, and it adds a lot to the
Compared
game.
to an actual character, how long does that?
Probably 3 months at this point per character is roughly how long they take.
And that includes polish and like so much.
Yeah, that includes everything. Like
That's a
animations,
process, I
programming.
imagine,
Yeah, it's
to get it just
it's-
right, balancing and
It's but it's fun though. It's like a fun. I'll say this: at the beginning, we had a lot of people who came from Rivals modding because Rivals of Aether makes making characters in platform fighters really easy,
Mhm.
which is great, and I love Rivals.
Love
and,
Rivals.
And so, like, I was hoping at the beginning, like, because I've seen people make full-on Rivals characters in like really short amount of time, and as a programmer, right, like. To me, half of my job on Cross Impact is waiting for animations to get made so I can import them in. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that has to do with like animations. That's like a huge part of this kind of game. So a lot of the time I'm just kind of waiting, and I'm like in the beginning I was really hoping that I could get like a Rivals of Aether workflow down, something that was really similar, something quick, so
Yeah.
we could make a lot of characters really quickly. But that just wasn't happening. It's hard to find people in that community who want to work for money. It sounds weird. It sounds weird, but it doesn't help. A lot of them are like pretty young, and they don't even have like
They don't even
the
have time like that to work for money. At least
Yeah.
Mm,
So
it's
it's
work on something big,
yeah.
bigger than just a hobby.
Yeah.
All right. Oh
That
man,
was-
these assists are fun. I like them so far. I remember.
Yeah, they definitely. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No. Sorry, I don't.
No, this is
I
your
don't-
episode, brother. Fucking go ahead.
No, go-
Exactly.
see.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was just gonna. Oh goodness! I was just gonna say, like they're fun. They're more fun than. It's more fun playing it with them in there than not having them in there. I think it only adds to the game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I was scared. I was really scared people
That's
were gonna
fair.
be like, "Fraymakers rip off." Thankfully, we didn't actually get that. I've not seen a single person. I saw one person who was like, "This is what Fraymakers did." But other than that, I mean, I don't. No one's like complained about it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
did you guys start first? Like a indie rumble. Did that happen before Framemakers? Or
I don't think so. Fraymakers has been in development for like, I want to say at least a year or two.
Well, Fraymakers was in development 2 years before the Kickstarter went live.
Yeah.
So it's been in development for a long time, but Indie Rumble started development very shortly after Fraymakers was revealed. But I swear it has nothing to do with Fraymakers. Like, I knew of Fraymakers, right? Like, I knew that it was a thing, and I knew that I should be wary that a much bigger group of people are making something that I already wanted to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I never looked at like Fraymakers for inspiration. Like it wasn't what I wanted. It just wasn't what I wanted. It was very close. It was very, very, very close. It just wasn't it. So my goal, well, Indie Rumble started as a like sports title. It was going to be like a sports crossover with just my characters and no one else. And then you know, things kept going, and I wanted to make it a platform fighter. Focus less on the sports and more on the action, which is kind of funny because Indie Rumble never had like a sports mode, but Cross Impact, I'm sitting on a finished volleyball mode and a finished like dodgeball mode. So
that's
kind of added.
I like that.
Kind of,
I like that because usually, like games, I don't know. I was able to really had just one mode, you know.
Yeah, and I mean it's not like phenomenal, you know. It's not like groundbreaking. It's very.
I mean, yeah, but like it's cool. It's like
it's different.
Yeah,
I like that.
For example, I've been playing Brawlhalla lately, which I used to shit on. I'm not, but I've been really enjoying it. Yeah. And it has like a volleyball mode, and it's fun to like just take a little break off of just normal fighting.
Yeah, it's a great break.
It's always great to have little side modes like that in your game.
How does the dodgeball mode work?
It's so 2 balls will start. So right now they only support 1v1s, no like 4 players or anything like that. Yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do. It's harder to program when there's more players involved. But for the sports modes, so for dodgeball, there's 2 balls that spawn on each side. You can pick them up. They're like pick upable items. Yeah. It's a good way to like reference them because they are programmed in as items, like you know, like Smash Brothers items, like the ball. And then from there you like throw it, and then you can only kill people. It's an insta kill if you get hit, but you can only kill people from the thrown item. I've actually reused that. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you catch the ball?
You can catch the ball. Yes.
That's fun.
Okay. And then does the other person get out, or you're able to catch it?
Right now you can just catch it.
Okay.
But that would be fun to do. I should look into that.
Dude, you should make it so this might be too much like John, what's that game you showed me that's like it's a fighting game but you hit a ball back and forth?
Oh, Lethal League?
Yeah.
I imagine
once you catch it, you're able to throw it a lot harder than the last throw, and then you catch it again and you throw even harder. That'd be so fun, and it's bouncing around.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
Lethal League was a great inspiration. I love Lethal League.
That's a great game.
That game is so fun.
It's so good. Oh my god. Yeah, it's the sports. It's so funny that it like looped around back into like having sports modes, and I'm really happy that I'm able to add that kind of stuff in. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in this game I really wanted to do, but I didn't think I could do. Like series icons are in the game, like little icons that represent the franchise the characters from. Like for Ortheo, in the Ortheo game, you collect gears. Same with like the sequel that I'm working on. Like it's collectathon. It's like Mario, he collects stars or whatever. And so in Cross Impact, like next to the Ortheo logo or like the name, it always has the gear. And I never thought I could add that. And it sounds simple. It's just an image, right? But there's just a lot of stuff that kind of goes into that smaller stuff that I was like, I don't think I can do this.
It adds character, you know what I mean? It adds like more.
Yeah. It's always the little things that I see in indie games that are like, it always adds so much. Just small little pieces like that really go a long way, I think, to making your game just more fun, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And polished too.
Yeah.
Like, so much goes into polishing. I really struggle with that. Like that's one of my biggest failures. Not failure. That sounds so strong. Like shortcomings. It's one of my biggest shortcomings. I'm very bad at like polishing my titles. They're very all like. You could tell it's a young guy in his fucking basement doing his coding bullshit. But I'm definitely working on it. It's one of those things I always improve at every time I make anything. It's like all art.
Yeah, I have another question. So we asked you earlier, any people you or like any characters you would want in that you can't get. Are there any characters that you can disclose at least that you would have in mind that you would want and might be able, maybe would it be
Like in the realm of possibility.
That you would want and could hypothetically get.
hypothetically?
Hypothetically.
This is hard.
Yeah, you have to make sure you don't.
Yeah, I can't say
It's a
anything.
landmine.
Yeah,
A minefield.
it is. I can tell you right now a character we do have and just pretend that we don't have the license for. That would be
True,
fun.
but we wouldn't know that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. You would have no idea. All the characters that are coming to my mind are characters we got the license for. We just haven't revealed yet. So I gotta this is really, really tough. Because we do whenever we I really want a character, the whole team we work together to make a pitch. And
Now, before you say it, how much characters? Can you even say that? How much characters do you have in store?
Right now we have the guaranteed, and we might not use all of them. Right, some of them might get cut or whatever.
So it doesn't really matter if you.
Yeah, but we have right now the main 6. We have 2 DLC characters, just regular DLC on our own volition. 3, technically 3, and then we have 5 DLC backer characters. But out of those 5, we only have 4. So we have
Let's
12.
count. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
counting on my fingers. We have 12 characters, like the license for. Like I said, and technically there's that big one, and then there's also another one that we already know we're not going to be going forward with, because they're already represented through another thing in the game. So we don't want to make them a character too, but we did get to go ahead for a character anyway. So technically 14, only 13 of those we plan on using, and only 12 of those we plan on using in the soon.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now back to the question before. I'm not gonna let you off.
Not letting you get away that easy.
Wait, there's one other character, real quick, that I know we can't get the license to, but I would really like, and it's kind of out there. But I would love Pim and Charlie from Smiling Friends in the game. And I know it's such a weird one.
It's so out there, but I love that.
That would be amazing.
They would fit great. They would just fit so well.
They
Yeah,
would. It's not
I
even a
imagine it
game,
being
but,
like ice climbers.
It would be fine.
Yeah,
That would be duo.
and it technically kind of works because Psychic Pebbles and I forget the other guy's name. I loved his other show though too. Zach Hadel. Is that it? No,
Psychic
that's-
Pebbles
that's-
is Zach
that
Hadel.
is
It's the
Psychic
same
Pebbles.
guy.
Yeah.
I know who
What's
you're
his
talking
name?
about. The other guy that
What's his
does
name?
Smiling Friends. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's so bad that I don't remember his name.
I know his name. It's just killing me right now.
Michael?
Michael Cusack.
Michael Cusack.
Yeah,
yes.
Michael Cusack.
Australian
So,
man.
so they don't technically own the rights. It's an Adult Swim thing because they signed it off to Adult Swim, which makes sense. But the thing is, right? Not only does it feel really indie because it's by 2 very small animators, but Adult Swim, even though it is, if I remember correctly, public, or at least their parent company is public, they have a licensing division for indie games. Now, it's not for this kind of game, right? It's for I want to make a Rick and Morty game, and I'm an indie developer, and I want to get the license to make a Rick and Morty game, and I can prove myself. It's for stuff like that. But in a way,
you know what Pocket Morty is?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem. I feel like that was a case.
Yeah.
I like it. It was fun though. I used to play it.
That's a good
Yeah,
game.
it's-
I remember playing that.
I feel like it could definitely happen.
Dude, I'm imagining
Yeah.
a reveal trailer or something, and it's
That would be
Alex
so
Yick
funny.
next to Payman Charlie. That's so funny.
It's such a It's such a good, like, I love the idea and I want it. Just like Omori, I really want it, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
There's so many, like, just things going against that.
That's fair.
I have a character in mind now for a character that we could get the rights to, but
Don't know.
Don't-
Who you are.
yeah. And this is a good one. I'm only saying this because there's no guarantee that it's in or out. Like this doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, this
but a character that I've really wanted in the game, and only for the reason that or for a few reasons, but the main reason being I think they fit the cast, right? So when you look at the cast of characters, the ones that really stick out, at least to me, the third-party ones, are like Jacket, V1, and Alex. They're all from pretty mature titles, and same with Pal.
Mhm.
But like Ortheo and Tori are kind of like they're for everyone, but mainly
Yeah.
not like mature titles.
They're a little kiddie,
the other
you know. A
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Not to call your work.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, right? It's just what
There's
it is.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
Yeah. It just is what it is. And there's
Bubbly,
one
safe.
character that people really, really want, and that I've gotten tons of requests for, and that I personally think would fit so perfectly, like amongst that mature kind of group. Same kind of game. The developers act the exact same, right? And that is Postal Dude from.
Oh,
Yeah.
from
My God.
That was good. I was
Dude.
Like,
Dude.
doesn't that fit? So
Yes!
can't you just
Yes,
get
it does.
Postal Dude right there? He just fits. It's just a perfect.
That's the
fit.
one character
fits.
that I've been wanting. Frame 1, I'm like, holy shit, I would
It
kill
just works.
for
And
Postal
everyone I know
Dude.
who's interested in Running with Scissors is ND. They're really awesome. In fact, they actually, and this isn't like, I know this is like, I know they've talked about it publicly, so I can say this, but it's kind of like underground. Like, not a lot of people know about this, but Running with Scissors actually approached fraymakers asking if they could get Postal Dude in as a character or in as an assist, like just any kind of representation. And fraymakers said no because it
I
was
know.
too mature.
Mhm.
Too
Yeah.
much.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's
That's
kind of
perfect, actually.
It's
Which
kind of
is kinda-
fair considering what Postal is. Postal's fucked up sometimes, but oh man,
It is.
I would,
But I love it.
brother, I would kill for Postal Dude. I mean that.
yeah.
Piss
He would,
my
I've,
mouth.
I've said that like 25 times this episode, but holy shit, I mean that. Postal Dude would be so sick.
he would piss with Alex, not on him. They would be holding
be
hands
bros,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
That'd be so sick.
Now picture this: Alex, Yick, Postal Dude, and Pim and
Pim and Charlie.
Pim and
four
Charlie
horsemen.
holding hands, pissing.
The
It's like
greatest
the
characters of all
it's like the
time.
Mario 64 trailer where they're frolicking in the fields. It's those four
And you
characters.
know who they're pissing on? You know who they're pissing on?
Who are
Amori.
They're pissing on Omori.
The shot like pans down at Tamori on the floor crying. Like, please stop.
Please.
Please.
3-in-1 character reveal. You got all of them. They're all in.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, I think that's a really good one. There's a few others, but I don't. It's so hard for me to just like not.
Yeah.
I have a really
Not
hard
leak.
time. Yeah, I have a really hard time keeping a lot of these things. But for the ones that I have to, I will. And for the ones where the IP holders are less lenient and pretty like, yeah, do whatever. I'm pretty good with those.
Yeah.
There's a few that I'm like really like eager to get out there because they're so like I don't know, they're like smaller but like I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's
Mhm.
really hard to like share my thoughts. But yeah, I'm a notorious leaker. They hate when I talk in public.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
we just gave you we gave you a whole platform. So
Yeah.
Did they allow you
Whole
to come
platform to
here?
leak.
Don't tell the team that I came on tonight.
Turned on a second monitor.
Of course, yeah.
we see if we zoom into his eyes, you can see all the characters on his second monitor.
It's actually one of the characters is hidden right now in this background.
It's
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
It's Miles. It's Miles.
It's actually a teaser for the next character. It
Yeah.
connects.
Yeah.
It's like the Sakurai like the chair theory. I don't know if you, if you
Oh,
remember
I think I'm
that.
familiar
the
with
purple
that.
chairs.
Yeah, like the color of the chairs was like, oh my god, it's gonna be Skull Kid or it's gonna be Waluigi. Those are so
Oh,
good, man.
Maybe.
I was
If we
really
look into the
taken-
back of Zooter's room, you see the little peanut guy? Those little
Yeah.
Mr. Peanut from Plaintiff Peanuts is gonna be added into the game.
Dude,
And Kool-Aid
I
Kid.
love Smash leaks and Smash speculation was one of my favorite things about that whole like hype when Smash Bros was still putting out new characters. Oh,
Dude, Grinch Leak was that was like the beta of my existence for like
I've
another
been
2
sitting
weeks.
on this fucking. I still have the. You remember this down? The fucking. What is it? The. What's his name from Garden of Banban? Jumbo Josh.
Jumbo Josh.
I have.
That's another one. Wait, put him with Postal Dude, by the way. That's another one where we could get the rights to.
It would be so funny if you had Jumbo Josh.
It would be,
I would
it
love
would be,
that.
That would.
it would be a
It was
interesting pick for sure.
It was me, Zabzag, whoever else in that VC, and I think one of the artists, and we had them pixel art Jumbo Josh in the exact style. It
Yeah.
is so 1-to-1. I'll throw it up on screen right now.
I've seen that.
And I was so tempted to post this on Twitter and be like, "Oh my god, leak!"
Dude.
But they were all like, "You shouldn't do that."
Yeah,
I think I'm
freak
thinking
out.
blurred picture.
yeah. But, I heard about all of this. I was gone for when it happened, but
We were trying to keep it under wraps so you wouldn't find out.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was-
the file
I
on
found
my
out, though.
computer.
Oh, I found out.
You did. The file
yeah.
on my computer of the image of Ortheo next to Jumbo Josh is called Dallen Cries, I think.
What?
Yeah. It's not too far off. You can imagine my shock waking up, getting on my computer, getting ready to work, and then seeing in the dev server a ping, and it's the sprite that was made, and I was like, "What is going on? What?" And then I got it explained to me. I was like, "Why is there Jumbo Josh on my screen?"
We did not talk about this in a meeting.
So
What
funny
did
if they were just like,
we did not bring this up last Friday.
they're just like, yeah, we
Yeah.
thought.
Did you
we
get the
thought we
rights?
just out of it.
After yeah,
We contacted Euphoria
the
Brothers.
prize.
They said, yeah.
we bought the
Say
rights.
something.
We got
I
all
was
the rights.
gonna
got
ask
the
about that.
license.
Actually. I was gonna ask about Garden Event because
Yeah.
your about me says, needless to say, I play Garden. She was a band. Nevertheless.
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 She was a band.
I'm a big Gartner. I love Garten of Banban. I do.
It's
I have no idea. I
it's
wanna-
such a
I'll
funny
look into it.
game.
You can call me a contrarian for liking these games that other people don't
That
like.
people
But
don't
honestly,
like.
yeah, but honestly, Garten of Banban, for what it is, dude, it's a free game. What is there to hate?
Is it?
Yeah,
dude,
the first one's free.
The first one's free. The first
2 and
one-
3 are $5 a pop.
Yeah. But I mean,
It's
Still,
like
not
Poppy's playtime type beat.
yeah. I mean, honestly, that whole thing, the mascot horror genre has just gotten so like muddy
So
and
washed.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really get. That's why I didn't want to really get into it. I didn't really know anything about it. Plus, it's just the mascot horror shit.
Yeah, it's,
yeah.
that's the whole
But I'm
thing
thinking-
now, is
I'm-
that all the mascot horror characters aren't horror characters. They're just friendly, like bubbly, like inviting shapes and everything. There's no creep factor really.
And then you give him sharp teeth and then like blood eyes. And
Yeah.
it's like you got a game.
You give them
But you
veins
know
and
what,
bam,
though?
they're scary now.
The worst part is that it works. It really,
It really worked.
People
really,
eat
It
up that
really
game.
works specifically for like kids. They fucking, oh my god, they eat it up. I went to the mall recently and I saw Garden of Banban bootleg plushies being sold at the mall, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
that's
What?
insane.
There's
They
so
have
much.
these?
There's so
Yes.
much. Poppy's Playtimes plushies.
Like some of them aren't even real characters. They're like fake characters that people have made, and those are popular.
I've heard about that.
It's nuts.
Well, the thing is too, like Garten of Banban gets shit on, it just does. But it did really decent. Like its core fan base do really like the games.
Yeah.
Like the people who played it and did wind up liking it do really, really like it. If I'm not mistaken, I know the
There
first
are a
game-
lot of sorry, for interrupting, but there's a
No.
lot of big YouTubers too who love the game.
yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of big YouTubers
Yeah.
playing it, which is so crazy to me.
Yeah, Garten of Banban 3 here has mostly positive, and then recent reviews very positive on Steam. Like, I mean, the people who buy it do like it, whether it's ironic or unironic or whatever, you know, like,
Whatever
It
way,
works.
you still enjoy it to an extent, you know? Whether it was the
Yeah.
intended way or the unintended way. You're
I'm,
still consuming the media and enjoying it, so.
It's still positive.
Yeah. Like I said earlier on, I'm I do software development too. I'm not just like a games dev. I don't just do my own stuff. I'm also for hire, so I work on a lot of other games. And one game I am working on right now is, funny enough, a mascot horror game. I'm just like the programmer and stuff, and I don't know what it's getting published under, developed under, or anything like that. But it's the only reason that I'm like agreeing to it, right? Is because that's a genre I don't really care too much about. I like and I kind of come back to the liking games people don't like, but I loved Security Breach. I liked Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I know that one's pretty popular.
You do
I
like
enjoyed
games.
it.
I've noticed this.
I
You like
enjoyed
games
it.
that people don't. Like,
Yeah.
I saw on your YouTube channel, you posted a video about how you liked Scarlet and Violet.
I loved Scarlet and Violet. I loved that game so much. I hate what it stands for, and I hate the Pokemon Company, and I hate Game Freak, and I think that they're lazy sacks of shit, and they're probably one of the worst game development companies of all time. But I love.
They
I love
popped one out.
Yeah, they
Beautifully
did. They
said.
did.
That's
They did.
beautiful.
I
love that.
I had 6 copies of Scarlet and Violet. three each.
Okay, that's
Why?
okay. Never mind. You're
You lost me.
I was siding a little bit. You're kind of.
It's just it's a good game, you know. I need to get back to the developers who have done so much for me.
That's fair,
No,
I guess.
I'm
fault
a
you for that.
huge collector. My first ever game of all time was Pokemon Diamond, so Pokemon means a ton to me. And so seeing it go down the shitter these last few years have fucking killed me inside.
Yeah.
Like, I literally hate Pokemon as a franchise, like, today, like, what it is today.
Yeah.
It
The last
makes
time I
me
really enjoyed
so
a Pokemon game was Sun and Moon.
Yeah,
Sun and
even
Moon
then,
was
dude,
good.
I hated Sun and Moon. It was like a fucking visual novel. I could not stand it, dude. I
That's
couldn't
fair.
stand it. At the time, right, when it came out, I was excited. I stayed up all night. I went to the midnight launch with my brother, and I skipped school the next day when it came out, and it was this great thing. And looking
Yeah,
back,
but I'm talking about like that's the last time I kind of like enjoyed a game.
yeah.
Yo,
Well,
I was so excited for Ultra. I bought it. Oh my god, it's just fucking the same exact
It's
thing,
the
just
same
a little
game.
bit at the end. I
Yeah.
wish I didn't buy it.
It's the exact same.
I
game.
got a question for you. What do you think of what is it? Legends Arceus. Did you like that game?
I actually did like Legends. Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
I like Legends.
I think it's a
Look
really
cool.
good like breath of fresh air for the franchise. I think
Yeah, it was different. It was fun.
I
It was
love-
interesting.
I love talking about Pokemon. By
The
the way,
beginning
This
is
like
so
a
boring,
great-
but after that, it's really fun. I think.
yeah.
That's a good game.
I don't know. I do unironically like Scarlet and Violet. I do, but one thing I will never forgive the Pokemon Company for allowing ever to happen is cutting the national decks. That killed the franchise. That was like the knife, like in the franchise for me.
Yeah.
Like that is what killed it for me.
It is.
I had
No, continue.
no. Go ahead.
Cutting the national decks under the guise of like, oh, we're improving the animations, and then you see Sword and Shield, and everything looks the exact same as it did on 3DS. Some of the animations are straight up ported
They're
from
worse.
Sun and
Yeah.
Moon. It's
Yeah.
it's embarrassing.
I'll
It's
say
like,
the Switch.
why
shit
even lie?
Is worse. Is almost it'll look better on 3DS.
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
agree.
that game is
Have you-
ugly.
If you look at like Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon rendered on like an emulator without like outlines and high resolution, honestly, yeah, it does look better than the Switch in a lot of cases.
Embarrassing.
Sun and Moon is the worst. Not Sun and Moon. Sword and Shield are the worst. That is, I've never seen a franchise get so low in quality, like such bottom of the barrel trash, like absolute bullshit. Like,
Dude,
That is the worst game I've ever played. Like, absolute worst.
I'm so embarrassed that I even like tolerated that game for a second because I knew it was bad. Everyone was talking about how bad it was, and I was like, Pokemon, and I bought it. I bought the DLC too, and oh my god, I think the DLC for that game is fine. I like the DLC.
Yeah,
the base game, oh my god, it is so incredibly boring. It's just another Pokemon game. They did just enough to make a new Pokemon game, and that's it.
Exactly.
Like, holy
it's like the
shit.
bare minimum. Dude, I was thinking when I was younger, I was playing like Pokemon Diamond and Heart Gold and whatever, and I'm like, okay, one day there's going to be a Pokemon game, and it's going to be huge, and it's going to have all these Pokemon that we've already had and more, and the Pokemon's going to be following you, and I'm going to be able to customize my character like I have in these games. You know, like, it's going to be so great.
We have none
and
of
then,
that.
like, Pokemon always takes
Ed
2
Sheeran.
steps forward and 1 step back. Oh my god, the fucking Ed Sheeran song. Oh my god. I remember beating the game, and I was looking at my Switch, I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? No way.
He got Ed Sheeran to do the end credits song.
Yeah, it's such a weird...
Like, everything about that
God.
game, even, like, the intro, I think, for Sword and Shield, it's either the intro or the end scene. You have, like, a cursor on screen the whole time, as if someone captured a video in Windows. Like, oh my god, how, like, you guys make so much money! I don't understand!
When I say
Everybody
that, like,
still buys it.
yeah, when I say Sword and Shield's like the worst game I've ever played, I don't mean like just the game. And it sounds really harsh, right? Because of course there's like cheap games in like the App Store and the worst or whatever. But when I say worse, I mean it is the highest grossing franchise of all time, ever. How on earth did it turn out like this? How did this? How did this happen?
They're just like, people eat this shit up. I'm really lazy with it because they're gonna get it anyway, which is true.
I imagine it's less of Game Freak and more of the Pokemon Company.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think
But either way, it's still really frustrating. It sucks. It sucks so much, man. What an embarrassing trash game.
That's like a perfect way to put it. It's really embarrassing. I would be upset if I worked at Game Freak and released a product.
And I had to put my name on that game in the credits. Yeah. Look, there's me. I made this piece of shit.
There's some stuff that I like. Like getting Toby Fox on as a musician is crazy.
That is cool that they did that.
And there's like a few things. Like there's one city in Sword and Shield that I actually do really like. I think is really gorgeous. It's like a mushroom city or whatever. And some of the new Pokemon designs are pretty good. I think I forget his name. Kevin. Is that his name? Whatever. He's the new American Pokemon designer who started with like late Sun and Moon and then took over the director role for Sword and Shield. The Pokemon designs are great. It's just the sheer quality is just low. Everything just seems really low.
What did you like about Scarlet and Violet?
That's a great question.
It is. We didn't speak on it.
I liked that it took risks.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it has the Pokemon in it. You know what though? Scarlet and Violet don't have my favorite Pokemon of all time, and that really hurt. Up until Sun and Moon, I had every Pokemon I ever caught ever on any game I ever played, including emulators and like ROM hacks. Like I would transfer them over. Like I had every Pokemon I ever caught ever until Sword and Shield, where I just couldn't transfer them. I couldn't do it because they're not programmed in, because they're fucking lazy, and that's what it is. It's lazy. But no, sorry. With Scarlet and Violet, I think that I really like that they took risk. The idea of an open world Pokemon game like Legends Arceus, but mixed in with like the more current gen stuff, I think did work really well. I think a lot of people had. I didn't have any bugs or glitches. I had a few, but nothing that I were like restart the game or anything like that. Nothing that
everyone else is talking about.
Yeah. Everyone.
So it's just like maybe you got a good copy.
Yeah, maybe one of my 6 copies was just really good, and I got really lucky. But like,
Yeah,
No, I didn't
you
have any
experienced.
issues with that. Yeah, I had a great. It was a great game. It works as a stand. It's a great standalone game, and it's a very subpar Pokemon game. Um,
That's.
I just
I think that's beautifully put. I like that.
yeah.
What do you
It's
think? And it has multiplayer.
Yeah,
does.
no, that was fun. That was so much fun. I loved getting to play the game in real time with my friends. That
I
was such a
remember-
good experience.
When it was first announced, I was like, if this game, I'm not gonna buy it now, but because I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield.
That's me with
But
Pokemon.
if
That's me with
this-
Sonic.
If this game is good because it has multiplayer, I'm gonna buy a Switch just to play with y'all, like with Zuder, Alex, and all that.
Did you ever buy it?
Multiplayer. I didn't buy it.
No.
Because like I said, I didn't
The
have
game
my own
came out.
experience either. All I heard was all the bad things about it.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
people were shitting on
Obviously, yeah.
on
I
it.
heard all the bad things about it. You know, I didn't have my own experience, so obviously I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
be able to judge it.
Honestly, I can't blame the people who don't like it. You know what I mean? I get it. I really do. Like I said, when they cut the national decks, that was kind of it for me. I was like, yeah, this is not the same franchise that I grew up on, that I love. This is a completely different thing that they're doing with it now, and I much prefer the old shit. But I get it. I think if I had all those bugs and I was still upset about like all of the bad shit, if you're a Pokemon fan, it is painful. It is really, really
The-
painful.
The shit up that you said that they didn't even program like Pokemon that aren't. That's.
That was the
lazy. They
whole
always do
thing. That was the whole draw to Pokemon. It was their slogan. Gotta catch them
Get 'em
all.
Yep, gotta catch
It's
them
their
all.
name. It's their thing.
Can't do it.
You can't
Can't do
catch
it.
them all.
And
What's
the
the
craziest part is I found decompiles of Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon, and I looked through it, and you know what? They didn't manually removed is kind of harsh, but they chose like not to do
Pluck
it.
'em out.
Yeah. They chose to pluck them out. That's literally like they're not in the code, not because they would have to like redo all this shit for it. There's an importer. There's an literal importer where they could just basically, essentially, right? I'm dumbifying it, just drag and drop. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it would have taken them no extra effort to do that. So I think, honestly, I don't know why they did it. They said it was to save time, and I think they said something about like improving animations, which we all know is bullshit.
Complete
They
hog
just-
shit.
Yeah.
They just lied about everything, and that's another reason I hate it. Like, I remember with Sun and Moon, there was an interview that said, "Wow, there's almost 1,000 Pokemon. How are you guys going to keep being able to do this national dex business? Like, this is a lot of work, I imagine," said one of the interviewers or whatever. And then they said, "We would never do this. We would never cut it. It's a big appeal to our franchise." And they
That's
did it
literally
the
the whole
next
thing.
game. The next game after that interview.
That guy got fired. That guy got fired.
I will always remember that because I remember when with Sword and Shield, I was really looking forward to a Pokemon game on the Switch. I was like, you know what, the Switch could be a fresh start for the company. Maybe they realized Sun and Moon was kind of on the fucking like text side, like fucking terminal RPG typing the bullshit. And maybe the Switch will give them an opportunity to kind of branch out and experiment,
Yeah.
like Legends Arceus did, or like Scarlet and Violet did.
Which I feel like it was a good risk. I wish they did it better.
I wish
Yeah,
I wish they went further. I wish it was just like Legends Arceus, like that gameplay in like a normal like Pokemon game in a full
Pokemon
open world.
format.
You know?
Yeah.
I loved Legends Arceus' combat, its catching. It was so much more engaging and fun than normal Pokemon shit, and they just dropped it immediately. I'm like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, you had something great. And you do.
And then you just
It amazes me how these big AAA companies consistently embarrass themselves. Like Pokemon, Sonic, Mario was shitting the bed for a while. Like the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Dude, if Mario Wonder is bad, I'm gonna end it all. Like it's over.
There's no way
Oh
it
my
could be
god.
bad.
That it
has
looks
to
so
be bad.
promising, but oh my
You
god,
can't
who
like.
knows?
How are you gonna mess up?
Mario.
Like, how are you gonna mess up like yeah? How are you gonna mess up
It's
2D
really
Mario
just, like,
platform?
stick to
It's
Fix
hard.
like
Right
The
after
fuck
the
up.
movie, you know, they have to
Yeah.
do something good for Mario.
they have to.
coming off of the movie.
Yeah.
The art style for that game, oh my god.
Oh, it's so
good.
beautiful. The
I
animations,
love
the
he gets the mushroom and
expressions.
the things. Oh my god.
Yeah.
He does the animations that he does in like the fucking original games and shit. Instead of the new Super Mario Bros. Shit,
Where he's
where
like-
he's all
Walking like this.
torqued in a weird way. His like fucking torso's clipping through his like it. I have so much to say about the new Super Mario Bros. Series.
It's really stuck like to the page. Like you can't fuck up a Mario. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
that's why they've been
um,
playing it safe though for all these years, making the same exact game for like 2 decades.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know if you guys keep up with like leaks at all, like really weird, sketchy leaks. But there was one that was like, "New 2D Mario is going to be announced," and then
I heard that. Yeah.
You did? That was like, I was talking to my friend about it, and I'm like, you know what? To be honest, after Mario Maker and Mario Maker 2, they would have to do a lot to kind of bring me back into a 2D Mario game because they would have to do something you can't do in Mario Maker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they would have to have a big gimmick to pull me back in. And while Wonder looks like it is doing a lot of its own thing and definitely has a lot of really fun looking gimmicks, I'm really excited for Wonder. The animation is really what kind of like
It's so
drove
great.
me in.
Oh
It
my
It's
god.
so
looks
stylized.
It's so
phenomenal.
Beautiful. Actually beautiful.
They made
It might
Mario
be coming into
expressive.
its best work. They made him look so
Yeah.
good. I'm like Mario's always kind of been like a good franchise, but never one that I would obsess over. Like Pokemon, I could go I would go a year straight. Like
Yeah.
Pokemon is my
Mm.
everything. Same with
Well,
Smash.
that's the thing that I mean. I think that's like something good about it. It's never been like shit, like so fucking bad.
Yeah,
But it's never been like
peak gaming.
like
Mhm.
fucking. This is next level game.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Especially
You know.
2D.
It definitely
Yeah.
works to its advantage here, which is
Yeah.
shocking, I guess. Which is weird because it shouldn't be because it's fucking Mario. It's Nintendo, but
it
no,
is. But it is shocking considering
It
that the last 2D Mario game that wasn't a new Super Mario Bros. Game and was an original game was on the fucking Game Boy.
Yeah, like
Mario
what?
Land 2 was the last original Mario game that came out. And that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. They've been playing it safe for so long, and it's like, it's so refreshing to at least see they're trying something new. Whether or not the game is bad, the fact that it's different really makes me
I hope they
happy.
see that.
Next time
I hope they
I'll-
see
Yeah,
that
they-
and they've realized like, wait, people want this.
Wait, people
I
want
think they
weird,
will.
fun, different games. Oh my god.
Yeah. There's one. I don't know your guys' thoughts on Luigi's Mansion, but when Luigi's Mansion 2 came out, I was like, Luigi's Mansion 1 is one of my favorite games. Like one of my
Fantastic game.
top 10. Like I love it to death. It's not like anything crazy, you know, but like I love it. It's a fantastic game. But when the
It's a
sequel
good-
came out, I was like, oh my god, they remembered this fucking franchise that I love, and it's getting another game. And then like when the third one got announced, I remember I was literally thinking, that's it. This kind of puts like a pin in Luigi's Mansion to where this will be a Nintendo franchise. Like they will most likely in their next console make a Luigi's Mansion 4 or some kind of Luigi's Mansion content. Which is such a good feeling because I never thought they would ever bring back Luigi's Mansion, and now that it is just a staple, like a Nintendo staple, that feeling is just so good.
Mansion 3 is a fantastic game. That's like top 5 Switch games easily. So good.
Yeah, for sure. And the animation again, Nintendo's been killing it with like their animation department recently. Like that, the animation, like those cutscenes are just phenomenal. Like I don't know, I'm pretty shocked. There was this is also way off topic if you guys wanted to talk about it, but I know that Microsoft acquisition for what is it? Activision?
Activision. That finally went. That
It went through,
it went through. Yeah.
or the court case approved it, or something. Some bullshit happened with it today that people
Yeah.
are cheering.
So
and-
they're allowed to purchase Activision now. I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Before it was like, oh no, this is like a monopoly kind of thing. You can't do this, and that's why. I think that was
Yeah.
the whole court thing.
Yeah. It's just an interesting thing.
Really fascinating. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Who knows? We'll
It's-
find out.
I've seen some people say it's 50-50. I love Microsoft. Microsoft is my favorite company that I've gotten to work with. I've worked with Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Valve. You know, like I've worked with all the publishing companies that I kind of all the storefronts, I guess.
Mhm.
And without a doubt, Microsoft's been the best, like without a doubt. So I really selfishly love that this is happening. Someone else, Ben, who's one of my friends, brought up the fact that it means that they could clear house for Activision, who has some really nasty stuff going on. And so yeah, I mean the way I look at it, I think pretty positively of the acquisition. I think I can only really see good things changing for me at least, but I can get how some people are scared.
I felt like if Blizzard got it, it wouldn't have gone too well.
It's Activision Blizzard though, isn't it? It's both.
Yeah,
Is it?
It's both in
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
yeah. So they own
Huh.
Microsoft technically owns Overwatch now.
Overwatch, Crash
Yeah,
Bandicoot,
that's
Call
weird.
of Duty.
They're gonna bring it back.
Yeah,
They're gonna bring it back. Overwatch
They're gonna
3. Trust.
Overwatch 3 coming out.
with PVE this time. We promise,
Yeah,
guys.
We promise it's going to happen.
Like what a terrible.
That's so crazy that
Who
that was the
did
one
that?
thing they were
Like,
like,
what is
yeah, this
happening?
is the one thing this new game is gonna have that's different, and then they didn't. They lied.
Why is it just Overwatch
It's just
with
Overwatch
5
again.
people? You're like, what?
I've
There was
never
no.
felt
You made it
more,
worse.
I've never felt more like noticed when that was announced, like the fucking that they're removing PVE, because I'm like, I've made so many games where I'll like I'll be like, this is the gimmick, and then I actually like do other shit with it, and then I'm like, I think I'm gonna redo the entire thing. That's at this point. So when they announced that they were removing PVE, I was like, oh my god, I do that shit all the time. They're just as incompetent as me. It was just a really
But that says something.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
I
it's
feel
bad.
like
It's
they've got
really-
worse things
Yeah.
going on at Blizzard though.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
The last thing they need to worry about is adding some robots to their
Yeah,
their shooter game.
they need.
Yeah, but no, I mean,
a lot more.
if they do that, if Microsoft clears house for Activision and Blizzard, I mean, I boycotted Overwatch 2. I never played it, and like the new Diablo game came out, and I didn't want to play that either because I don't feel comfortable supporting that kind of development cycle and that kind of
Yeah,
team. I don't
that
want money
environment.
going- Yeah, I don't want to support that. I mean, I know I don't like. I don't dislike the people who don't boycott it, right? Like I have a lot of friends who play Overwatch too, and they're like, "Oh my god, you gotta come game with us sometime." But no, I mean after this, if Microsoft can do something about
Turn
it,
it around.
anything, literally do anything about it, then I would be way more open to buying Blizzard games
I
again.
tried it.
Super fair.
I just didn't really. I enjoyed it. I just didn't really have. I mean, I enjoyed it when I had friends or like playing with friends.
Mm.
I was never really an Overwatch guy.
I never was.
I was
either.
more
Then
into.
again, I only really downloaded it because it was free now.
Yeah, I was more into what was the other game called that everyone called an Overwatch ripoff?
Paladins.
Paladins. Yes, I was way more into Paladins.
Paladins
I
is
really
good.
liked Paladins.
It was actually kind of fun.
They're both really good. I loved Overwatch 1. Overwatch 1 and like I feel like Smash have a lot in common and like a sense of like UI design and kind of like their hype cycles, if that makes or like their like development kind of how that kind of gets leaked into the or like pours into the real like marketing world, I guess.
I think
I don't know.
what you're saying.
It's hard to explain, but they definitely have a lot in common. Same with like ARMS. ARMS is a really out there one, but like ARMS, Smash, and Overwatch have that same kind of like UI and like trying to get people excited for new characters, whether that be a FPS or.
It's
And
so
I mean,
crazy
I
that that game came out, ARMS, and just like no one played it.
Yeah.
I know
I
not
think
a
they
single
steal it
person
so
that played
much.
ARMS.
It looks so cool.
It looked fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. It never really grabbed me.
I like the art.
uh,
I like the character design.
the characters and the
Yeah.
style.
It's really cool. But it's
Now,
Yeah.
if Nintendo made a new Punch Out, that's
That
huge.
would-
oh my god,
But-
dude.
Dude, I'd kill for a new Punch Out.
Stylized punch out on the
I need
Switch.
to
It's so
Use
easy.
a different phrase.
Think about it.
Hey, you want to know
You have
something,
your Joy-Cons.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
it's so
Alex.
free. What's good?
It is so free.
Alex? That idea of a stylized like Punch Out, like a modern day Punch Out game, like a similar kind of game, would be really easy to do. You should make it.
Dude, I I should make it, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
make one. I'm not even joking right now.
There's
Learn how to code, just
there's
dig
actually this
down.
one game that I'm following right now. I forget what it's called. I think it's called Big Boy Boxing, which is a terrible name.
Yeah.
But it's exactly that. It's like Punch Out crossed with Cuphead. And it's really fun looking. Super
Yeah,
like
look-
great animations and like it looks so promising, but no one knows about it.
Yeah, this
I
stuff
just
looks
searched it up.
really great.
It looks kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Big Boy Boxing.
That is a really bad name, though. I really
terrible
hope they
name.
change
I
that.
don't know why the fuck
It
they
is-
would name it that.
But it looks great, though.
It-
This looks phenomenal.
Punch Out. Is so cool.
Yeah, this looks cool actually.
Game dev is always something I've wanted to like kind of get into, but I don't know. It's something I've never found like the time or like motivation to really get into. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like it was always interesting to me as a kid. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I get to make video games, and I
Mhm.
opened up Game Maker once. And I was like, fuck, this is a lot. Oh man.
I opened up Unreal Engine 5 and fuck do I do?
I was like, okay.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even know like
now where do I start? Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried making games when I was really, really young, and I always like dropped out because I could never like get it. And what really got me through, it's kind of one of those things when you know it, right? Like it doesn't go away. It's like riding a bike; it doesn't go away. And then on top of that, like it transfers. Like I learned Unity. I want to say 2016 maybe, and like since then I've always like that knowledge of C# kind of has always stuck with me. I've only ever improved. I've never gotten worse at programming. And then now, like because of that, I know enough C++ for Unreal Engine, and I know enough GML for Game Maker. Like it kind of, I can do basically anything I want in any game engine that I want because I've Unity. Because of Bracky's had a video tutorial on Unity, and that was taught me everything I know. So it's, I mean, when you learn one, you kind of know all of it. So that's kind of the end goal, I guess.
That's
I
cool.
think you should watch a if you have the time. I know we're all very like a lot more busy. these
Very
days.
busy, big shot guy. Me and my podcast. It's if I can find the time for it, which I'm sure I could, hypothetically.
Yeah.
It's something I would
It's
love
just
to
more
look
so the
into.
motivation.
Everyone
for
knows
it.
you can.
Yeah, I have the time.
There's 24 hours in a day.
I very much have the time.
22 of those you're sleeping or playing on your Steam Deck. Like, come on.
Yeah, fair.
No, I'm joking.
That made me want to work. That was inspirational. I don't even get to play games anymore, like just regular like casual games. I want to get to work now.
Oh man.
Man. How did we go from indie games to Pokemon?
This is like two dudes spitting. We're going from all
Riled
over.
up, man.
Maybe it's a me
Just like
thing.
your
Maybe I just-
podcast.
Smooth.
I know,
It's
dude.
smooth.
I took over.
Excellent
Oh, goodness.
transition.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, I'm still looking into this game, the Big Boy Boxing. This is
Oh,
just
yeah.
this just looks so good.
It's really
It
good,
does.
and it's just no one knows about it. Probably because the name
Right?
stinks.
Yeah. Change the name.
I want
all
to. I've been thinking about reaching out to the guy and strangling him. Like, oh my god, why is this the name of the game? Change it, and it would do so much better.
Should literally do that.
Please.
I'm thinking about doing it. I was literally thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, I might reach out to this dude, just be like, yo,
Maybe if when you're in there, get a license.
Yeah.
Maybe a little license.
I don't know.
maybe, dude. I'm thinking about it.
You can get Dr. Wilhelm.
Really fun
von
character.
Braun.
I played the demo a bit.
Like,
Super fun.
And they're goofy with the Steam page and the system requirements. The OS recommended is Kids Bop sound operation processor, physical copy of Donkey Kong Country.
It does say that with new funky mode in parentheses.
On the Nintendo.
It does say that.
Yeah.
Try an RTX 3090 Super, but it probably won't be enough. You need 1,000 gigabytes of available space.
I love the additional notes. Also, buying my fresh merch is a recommendation requirement. That's pretty good. No, I love when I know Toby Fox did that with Undertale for a while, but I think it went down, or maybe it was with the Undertale soundtrack or something like that. The system requirements was like goofy, but I think. Let me see if it's still there. No,
Fun.
it's still there. It's still there.
I didn't even know you could personalize that bit of your Steam page. I thought
didn't
that
know
was
that.
just like.
You can, but Steam tells you do not like. They will actively
Yeah.
tell you not to do it. Like, I've done it.
I
before,
figured you'd have to like actually list requirements and stuff, but wow,
yeah, no,
that's
they really
awesome.
don't. They don't really moderate. I've noticed that this kind of sounds bad, but Valve does not really moderate Steam in a as much as they.
Oh
probably
yeah,
should.
no, they do not at all.
There's a lot of weird.
Kind of love that though.
In a way, it kind of I love it too because it lets me do my goofy stuff. I just checked because I was like I could have sworn I did the same thing on my Steam page, and sure enough, if you go to like the Dallen Clicker Steam page, if you go to the recommendations, it's the same exact, same kind of goofy random stuff.
That's fun.
How do
Yeah.
you spell Dallen?
Dallen. And I'm sure it's the only thing that pops
Yeah.
up on Steam.
Downland
Yeah,
Flicker
it is.
Ultimate.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's definitely an era.
Cult
of
classic.
its own. Oh, for sure. It's probably the best game ever made, actually.
It might just be.
Processor.
Windows 50 billion trillion. I like that
was
as the OS.
I was cooking back in 2020. I was
man.
going
That's fun.
Sound card, one with lots of bass.
Massive graphics.
Very intense. Very intense, and for best performance, get a huge piece.
Massive graphics go so hard.
Buy an RTX 4090 for Dallen Clicker and that's it.
Itty bitty graphics.
Yeah, for the minimum. Itty bitty graphics card. Oh my god, this is fun. I can't do stuff like this anymore though, because I will
With
get
that
like.
can process 4D. That's 4 dimensions.
Yeah, this is fun. I gotta I'm publishing another game right now. I'm getting ready to set the Steam page up.
Oh
that's
shit.
Yet another Steam page. So I gotta go through all of this.
I
Stuff
forget
again.
that you work on like other games on top of the. I assume Cross
really
Impact
talk
is
about
your
it too
main
much.
focus. Oh
Oh, the iPhone.
no, that's him.
Basically, to make what I said that was very long and didn't need to be at all. When you're a publisher on Steam, you can just shit out whatever you want. But if you have never put something on Steam before, there's a whole process for it. So like this one I'm doing right now, I'm not even a developer for it. They just want me to put it on Steam because it's a lot easier for me to do it than for them to do it. And I cover all the cost for them. I pay for it from my own pocket change. So, but yeah.
Man, what a talented individual you are.
Yeah, I sure do type up a mean store page every once in a while.
Yeah. it's the only thing you're good at. It's
Yeah,
really good at typing up a funny Steam page.
basically.
You know, I'm
I-
kind of a silly guy, kind of a goofball.
Kind of odd.
Oh man. Do you guys have
You know what?
any more questions?
I think we're far enough in this to where we could say this.
Mm.
In one of the stages.
I was
How
going to say
much-
this
how
and
much
I
have I gotta
completely
do?
forgot.
You can't tell everyone like this. We gotta make it a big announcement.
Yeah,
Oh.
censor out what he said unless do you think we could get hidden somewhere in the video game?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it right now.
Fuck yes. That's all I wanted.
That
Yeah.
would be
Hell yeah.
Really want to see. Also, wait, I do have also one more question, like actually, because I've been recently getting big. Oh, okay, never mind.
You have
I've been
been
recently
getting
getting
larger.
big into the.
You've been doing what recently? Remind me one more time. I want to make sure I heard that right. You're getting what?
I've been working out a little bit. You know, no, I'm joking. But I've been getting big into like Smash culture, stuff like that, like Melee, all that stuff. In the
Yeah.
future, I think like, would you think it would be like cool, like cross impact, like tourneys and stuff, like having them like like Smash Tourney and then just like subsection like Cross Impact or whatever.
At the next
It can do.
Evo, you have cross impact. Do you know how
Cross
sick that would be?
Impact. Like that'd be sick. That'd be really sick.
It would be sick. I'm doing everything I can to like to help this competitive community. I know there's a few people in here. Like I've seen a lot of people shockingly come from like multiverses since that kind of shut down. I've seen a lot of like competitive players trying to like find a game that works for them, you know. And so yeah, I'm trying everything I can to make that scene grow and do what I can. And I actually programmed a whole Discord bot that goes over all the frame data of all the moves, so people can really, really lab it out. And I've seen some really crazy stuff with it. But no, I'm always down. I Evo does this little thing where they show off a lot of indie games. They don't do any like tournaments or anything. But I am trying to get Cross Impact on there this year. Last year I kind of fumbled. We didn't really have anything, but. Now this year it's coming back around, and now that the game's been fully revealed and everything's ready to go, and we have a demo, I think we have more than enough to do it, and that would be a cool place to reveal some stuff too. Like
That's super sick.
Yeah, like
I need to get on.
It's pretty fun.
yeah, it's
Ortheo's fucking busted, but you know, besides that, I'm really into it.
It's really rough, but I'm happy we did it, and I'm happy that like it shows our progress. Like if you downloaded the demo when it came out, right, and you played Ortheo, I would say maybe 2/3 of him was like really poor, quick temporary animations. And right now, if you play the demo, like Ortheo is one of the smoothest like animated characters in like any platform pixel art platform fighter. Like I would argue that Ortheo's current animations are smoother than like Rivals of Aether anims. I mean, Rivals like greatness doesn't come from its animation; it comes from a lot of other things, right? Of course, but like I'm really, really astonished with how good Ortheo looks right now compared to like the difference is huge. That's what I'm really, really happy with. Like we're getting to show how much progress we've been making and how quick we've been doing it. So, but yeah, no, I'm definitely. I'm really happy with how the demo is right now. There's a lot of issues, and I don't think we're going to update the demo again before launch because we're only a few months away now. And
when are you planning on doing launch?
December's our current date, and that's the date we've like unveiled, like just late December.
It's gonna be what is it, $10, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be $9.99. But there's always a chance we delay. I don't think we will, because honestly, all we have left right now for the launch is to finish Jacket and V1, which are going to be the hardest characters to animate and have been so far. And then honestly, once they're done, the base game is basically done except for some bug fixes, and I think arcade mode does need some attention. I'm probably going to see what I can do there.
This will be on Steam.
Yeah. It'll be on Steam. It'll be for Windows for sure. I'm unsure about Mac support, and I don't know about like.
It has a Steam page right now. If you look up Cross Impact, you can wishlist it.
Yeah.
Also for future reference, I'm really interested in how. Well, first of all, will you be able to do workshops?
No. I don't see it happening. And it's technically possible, but I couldn't even get Workshop to work on a like game where all you would need to upload is a track and an image. So Steam Workshop and Steam support has not been super helpful, in the Steam community who I've talked to who have games out with Steam Workshop support. They haven't been super like they've been trying, you know, but none of it's clicking with me. And our only option to get something like that to work is bringing on a third party to kind of handle all of it, but that is extremely expensive. Like, we would basically be blowing the rest of our budget.
Now, what about, you think it would be possible in the future, down the line, maybe,
if
everything goes,
if it sells really, really, really well, and it is a really highly requested feature.
If I get $1 billion, I'll do it.
yeah. Like a big reason why I don't think it's like super requested right now is because Fraymakers has that, and then Rivals of Aether has that.
Yeah.
So if you want to like put your character in a platform fighter, there's already like other options that are already out. I really don't like fray tools, which is why I haven't been using it, and I've seen a lot of creators echo that, which is why fraymakers custom content has kind of been slower than expected. But like, yeah, if we added workshop support, we'd have to outsource it, and then on top of that, I would not want it to be tough. I would want it to be at the very least as easy as Rivals is to make characters for.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just not like it's not super like popular requested because I think people who want that kind of experience already have options.
Yeah,
and
it exists.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to ask about that. Would be
Well, yeah, of
like
course.
down the line, maybe you know.
It would be sick
Maybe.
though too, because like obviously Cross Impact is different from Rivals and Fray. They
It'd be
play
fun to
different.
have like any character you wanted in this game specifically. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. So I do get it. I want that too. I want that too. But it's just so expensive. And if I could do it myself, I would. I really would. I just can't. That's like out of my skill set, sadly.
The game does have like modding support though, right?
Yeah, it does. I always forget that it does. Modding the game's super easy. It's just workshop support. Like Steam Workshop in and of itself is a pain. But yeah, no, modding. I always forget that you can mod the game. I always forget that you could do that. I always like put modding and like Steam Workshop like hand in hand, like they're the same thing. But yeah, no, anyone can mod the game. It's super easy to do. I know Zap got like a lot of unused. I forgot to like clean sweep a lot of the like Alex stuff, and when we launched the like the most recent update for the demo, Alex was like 90 or 80% complete. So I know Zap like at some point had basically access to Alex. Like
Yeah. He
And that was-
showed me, he was like, dude, check this out. And it's just,
That
he,
was
not good.
he straight up put Alex almost in his entirety into the game.
it was horrifying to witness because
Wow.
that like version of Alex was so unpolished.
It's
and, like,
pretty unpolished
not ready.
and not finished,
was-
clearly.
It was just not ready at all.
Panda's
for
still a
any kind of
temporary
thing.
sprite. Like,
I
it's
love
really
that Panda
funny.
sprite. I drew that Panda
I love the
sprite.
Panda sprite. It's so funny.
It's so good. I love that I get to do the temp animations. Oh my god. And I love that the animators are able to put up with that and get my shitty vision and make it come to life. Oh my god.
Great.
That is great. Oh, man. Dude, we've been going for a while. Do you guys want to
Yeah, this
wrap
is
this up?
I mean, as long as we have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep going for a while. I'm down to sit down here for the next, like, 3 hours if you have that to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
I don't
down.
know if John is. He's a little...
I don't know about 3 hours.
I'm
He's like-
joking. I'm joking.
He's like, it's time. Please.
Yeah, every once in a
I-
while, I've been anxiously like looking over at OBS, and it's like 2 hours 30 minutes. I'm like, wow, I thought we would have ended like a while ago.
Yeah,
I've
no,
been
I don't want to
longer.
like keep you captive or anything. But if
No,
you
I like
want to
this. This
talk,
is
I'm down
fun.
to talk.
Stuff like Pokemon. You brought up Pokemon. I love talking about that shit, but I don't ever get the chance to.
Oh my
It's like,
god,
I don't know anyone who.
you're
also
actually
likes
just like me, for real. On God,
We're on the same wavelength.
so much nerd shit that I want to talk about, but none of these freaks would get it or care.
No one's on the same level.
No one gets me like you do, man.
Just,
Kindred
alright, just
spirits.
go start your own. Go start your own podcast. You guys
Well, you know, let's
We're not
Three
doing
dudes
this.
spitting coming soon.
Yeah. Dude, oh my god, you brought me here. I gotta bring you there.
Dude,
I'm talking with Neat. No, just one more person. We don't surpass 3 people on 2 days. No, I'm just kidding. We could get the whole gang. We could get everyone. It would be a big podcast. It would be
a lot
Neat,
to talk about.
All of
Neat lives
Braindead.
in
Y'all do different things.
yeah. Neat lives in another country. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm having a brain fart.
I
but
want to say Indonesia, but I'm not
Is it-
sure.
It's like this is killing me.
I
No,
think
no.
he mentioned it on an episode of the podcast, just so I don't look like a stalker, like a
Dude,
fucking
this
weirdo.
is killing me.
Yeah, he
He
lives
lives in-
in.
how do you know this game?
Thailand. He lives in Thailand. There it is.
It was one of those.
And so like he has like the exact opposite. So right now for me it's 11:10 p.m. For him it's 11:10 a.m. So he's like just now waking up. But no, I definitely I asked him when we're doing episode 3 because and staying in tune with Two Dudes Spitting, we don't plan a single thing. So I asked him when we're doing that. And I think he like just woke up right now. So I got to talk to Nate. But yeah, no, we should definitely. I mean, it would essentially be the same thing we're doing here, just with Nate.
It's just another couple hours. A different show.
We talk about us and introduce ourselves.
Yeah, we could talk about
I think that
YouTube and streaming.
Yeah, Nate has some super like interesting. We don't plan anything on there, but Nate comes up with the weirdest shit. Like he just made a video.
we did too.
Called it's called like the shit game show, like actual like shit, and it sounds really like I know how it sounds, but it's like some of the like weirdest but like most entertaining thing in the world. I can't even describe it. Like it's just weird, but it's really funny. Like it's just I'll put the video somewhere so you guys can watch it if you want. But
that's cool.
No, it's just he's just a really weird.
Let me give
dude,
you
actually.
Wait, hold on.
Kobe,
Since
since I noticed you have the Spider-Man on the Raw and you watched it, you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I wanted to, since you guys resonated on like nerds, like you said, do you know anything about comic nerds?
Yeah, man.
I've been on my comic nerd shit.
This is the Exile Hour.
Yeah.
Strap on in, John.
Been doing it for the last 2 hours.
I've been enjoying a lot of the DC, what's it called? The DC's comics.
Yeah.
The word like the whole DC universe has like the zombies and stuff because like Cyborg and shit with the devices. Do you know anything about the DC's comics at least?
I know a little bit. I read a lot of Blue Beetle, which is actually getting its own film, which is
I was gonna say, about that.
And that's crazy to me. Like when I heard about like Blue Beetle, like I didn't know a single soul who knew about this thing, like who knew about the comics or anything. My brother was a huge fan of it, and that's how I kind of got into it. But yeah, no, it's just like
they made a complete revamp from like his old look.
Yeah,
like from old comics. Not even too old actually.
I'm gonna if this is the right chat, I'm gonna go ahead and put the poop game show in there. And then I'll put all the other assets real quick. No,
that's a crazy thumbnail.
Yeah, no, it's like really weird. Like I said, he's just such a joy to work with on like literally like
he's pretty
everything.
funny. I've seen some of his stuff on YouTube. He's pretty funny guy, talented guy. Oh man, yeah, I gotta watch this.
He's just so like off the walls. Like I've never met someone so like just crazy enthusiastic about the most random weird shit. Like I was on this video, and then I was also on another video he made called Thai Commercial Game Show. He like makes game shows and like about random shit, and I had to like get none of it's in English. It's all in Thai and like or whatever it's called. And like I had to watch these commercials with no like caption or anything, and I had to guess what they were. It was tons of fun. I got off topic from the DC stuff though. I'm sorry about it. I'm just so all over the place. I'm so much good shit.
Any comics you like specifically?
I really like the from DC, just Blue Beetle.
Well, I'm into Marvels.
I'm
Marvel actually.
I've always been way more into Marvel over DC.
Yeah, same.
When it comes to comics.
But yeah, let me find everything.
The only DC that I have like consumed is that new Suicide Squad movie.
Oh
like the
yeah,
revamp with James Gunn. That's a really good movie. I
Is it?
really like that movie. Yes, it's
I only
really
watched
good.
one.
I have not.
That's good.
I haven't seen the new one,
I haven't even.
but the I actually really liked the old one. I know some people really didn't.
A lot of
Yeah,
people
you have
didn't.
a thing with like you liking
Do
things that
you-
everyone hates.
Do you have any other hot takes you would like to drop on us?
You know,
It's kind of hard because I just like it's so passive for me. Like, because I truly do like when I say I like something, I really do just like it. I don't love
yeah,
it, you know?
and you
Yeah.
don't see it as a
Yeah, I don't see it as like an
just
an oddity.
that's-
It's just something I like.
That's so real.
So I don't like. I mean, I could like. This is kind of a weird one, but I like Scott Pilgrim has a character. People call him like he's supposed to be a piece of shit, but I think he's like obviously he is a piece of shit, right? But no, he does a lot of stuff that makes him grounded and relatable to the point where like if I knew him, I wouldn't think he's a piece of shit. I would just call him like a friend. You know what I mean? Like. And maybe that's just a lot about my character, I guess, in a bit of a bad way. Same with like Alex, though. I don't know. I feel
I was
like
about to
those
bring
kinds
up
of-
Alex.
like I would probably be friends with Alex in real life. I probably wouldn't like support the bullshit he does, but like I don't know. I think Alex is like a cool dude. I think Scott's a cool guy, and I think yeah, they're pieces of shit, but that's part of it, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's kind of it's hard to like bring it up.
Not to go on another yick rant, but Alex to me is one of the most like well-written characters I've seen in a game. Like he feels like a real human that has flaws and can recognize them, and he doesn't always learn from them. And I think that's a human trait that like not everyone is this fucking Disney character that like has a character arc, you know? Some people just
Yeah.
are shitty. And that's
Yeah.
them, and that's their lives, and I think
And
that's
you resonate
beautiful. Yeah, I
Yeah.
resonate a lot with it, obviously.
No, I 100% agree. People really can't stand Alex, and I think that's why so many people don't like the game because it's. And honestly, and this is definitely something people do not like when I say it, but I think a lot of it does come down to they don't like looking in the mirror. I think a lot of the
Yes.
people who don't like Yick don't like seeing a reflection of someone who either they are or someone they maybe used to be, but they want to not be anymore. Like, it's like Alex is really grounded. He's a piece of shit, right? And like he deserves everything that happens to him, but he is like everyone makes mistakes, not to his extent, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
Alex is beautifully written. A lot of people shit on Yick and they'll talk about the writing and they'll say I don't like the main character. He's annoying. He's a piece of shit, and I don't want to play as this character who doesn't grow. And I played the game for this long and he never changed and he never grew and it's not a fulfilling arc.
But I
And,
think that's what makes him him. I think
It's
that's
art.
what makes him perfect.
Yeah.
Is that he's imperfect.
Yes. That's
Cause not
exactly.
Cause not everyone changes.
Yeah.
It's like a whole like
that's like reality. Like
Not
not
happy
everyone.
ending.
Exactly. Not everyone
Yeah.
changes. Not everyone has their happy ending, you know?
I
Some
don't know a
people
single
are
other
stuck
game
in their
that does that.
miserable little hole, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because it's either they're a bad person, they turn to a good person, or they're always a good person,
Yeah. Because there's no media
or
just
they're
don't
fully bad.
represent it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's like everything in like
Yeah,
media.
or they're
Yeah.
like
It
evil
really is
bad.
media in
Alex
general.
isn't like evil bad. He's just kind of a
He's-
shitbag.
Dickhead.
It's just a complete dick.
Just
loser.
not a fun guy to be around.
Yeah.
Dude, I love some of the lines in that game, man.
Me too. No, it's iconic. The writing's iconic. Andrew
You look
is a
vaguely
phenomenal.
ethnic. I love that. I love that's one of my
Like, Andrew
favorite things.
Dickhead, just like Alex.
No. No, Andrew's genuinely one of the
seems
sweetest
like a
guys
nice
I've ever
guy.
met. He is so he is so kind-hearted. I strive to be more like Andrew. One of the things people like we're talking about like earlier the like self-insert thing. Andrew looks nothing like Alex
Not
at
even
all,
close.
dude. It's
There's this
It's
photo
like-
that everyone references as like the developer of Yick, and it's just a cosplayer. It's just a guy. It's just some ginger. It's not the developer at all.
There's one post, and I'd have to find it. Andrew went on this show called like the Dick Show or whatever, and he's good
Mhm.
friends with the guy who did it. And he said something like, "Games aren't art" or something, and people like quoted
Dude,
it and put it to
I've
oblivion. As if
listened-
he's-
I went ahead and listened to that entire section, that entire like 40-minute section he had on the Dick Show podcast, and that quote is taken so far out of context. It's
Yeah,
so
people-
insane.
Yeah, the people who spread it. I found it. People put that quote in like an image, and then they'll be like, it's like one of those like Facebook images, and it has like Yick's art in the background, and then like white over it, and then the text over it, and it's like, my mistake was thinking that video games are art, and then it quotes him, and it's just the fucking funniest, dumbest image I've ever seen. Like it's like a Facebook mom saw that and was like, oh my god, this would make for a great image. And so like I made my own like version of that, and it was one of my games, and then I put like a white thing over it and the black text, and it was formatted the same way, and it was like, I just shit my pants, Dallen Larson, creator of Ortheo. It's just so dumb. Dude.
That's
Those
fun.
pictures are so goofy. But yeah,
man.
I love Yick. And what the guy
Great
from
game, great character, great
the
writing.
yeah,
I
it
love.
really is.
I gotta say, like, that was my favorite thing about Yick, is that I've never played a game that made me like cringe before.
Yeah,
Like, there are some points in that game where the characters interact, and it feels like real, people having awkward interactions, and I was like, oh man, like the part where I think Claudio, one of the characters, is talking about how much he's really into like this one anime, right? And he really goes off on a whole tangent, and then this other character, Rory, is like, no one cares about your shitty girl anime, and I
I
was
know what
like,
you're talking about.
no, oh my god, it's perfect. I love it.
No, it's I'll always remember playing Yick on my Switch, and like they get to the line where Alex like says, "That's our word," and I laughed so hard.
So
I was
funny.
like, "No way that this was like approved and
Yeah.
everything."
This girl calls him a ginger, and he's like, hey, that's our word. She's so funny. People hate
so
that
funny.
line, and I think it's hilarious.
It's just so like I went into it completely blind. I bought it like right when it launched on the Switch, and I don't know where that is like relative to the launch, but and I didn't like hear almost anything about it, and then I took a chance on it, and I loved it. And I'm a big. It's very clearly like inspired by like P4, you know, like Persona 4.
Mhm.
I love Persona 4, so I think that was like my big like, oh my god, Persona 4 kind of game on the Switch. This is perfect. You know, it's an RPG. No, I loved it.
I came from it from a completely different like thing. I watched Oni Plays play it, and I watched the Running Shine 2-hour long video essay on it, and both of these pieces of media, they just shit on the game relentlessly, and I was like,
Yeah.
you know what, I'm gonna give this game a chance, and I adored it. I love Yick. I have 30 hours on Switch,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do another playthrough on Steam when the new update comes out. I'll probably stream it too.
Drop. Yeah, I think most people come from those. Afterward I watched Running Shine's video, and I watched I can't even pronounce his name. Your Rick Salad Bar.
Oh yeah,
I'm totally butchering that.
I think you got it. Ulrich Salad Bar
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, and I watched their videos after playing the game, and I was like, this is interesting.
It's
like,
perspective, you know.
yeah, it's fun. It's like really funny. I think
Especially
I
Running
disagree.
Shines is.
Oh yeah,
That video is
Running Shine's
hilarious, but
hilarious.
I disagree so much with a lot of the things
Exactly.
he says.
That's exactly how I feel about both of them. Like
But you
I
know what?
respect
That's fine.
both of them as creators, and like, yeah, and they're both like both videos are hilarious. I love both like, or maybe not hilarious for that second one, but like it's a great video. They're both very entertaining, but I think like they don't really go too deep, and I think the criticisms they do have are either non-issues or their issues. Either non-issues were fixed in 1.25 or IV, or just like I just disagree. Like I think it's like
Mhm.
I guess it kind of goes back into like non-issues, but for me they weren't like an issue, or I would rather them stay the way they were. I know that's like a weird thing, but yeah, no, I think they're entertaining videos, but I disagree with a lot of the criticism they give out for Yick.
Mhm.
I'm a Yick warrior. I'm a big time defender.
Big Yick lover.
Yeah, do not diss my.
Yick, Yick riding till the day I die.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
I've recently gotten a lot back into like Minecraft. I've been playing, which is good. I can't remember the last time I got to like sit down and like really just play a game and not have like any kind of worries. I don't know, it's like an old classic, but I've been playing that a lot recently.
Just
Same.
basic vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah, we all
actually.
have.
That's crazy.
We
Maybe it's getting its resurgence again that time of year.
We're in
We're on an SMP
SMP.
No
What's that?
way.
with Zabzag and
It's-
a lot of other people called the
No
Streamers
way.
SMP, where we stream and we play on it, and it's been really refreshing. Because I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like Mojang, and the pace they've been going with Minecraft and what they've been doing with it. Not super into it. Multiplayer though is so fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, and we added mods.
Oh,
Nothing
did
nice.
big,
add-
but vanilla mods.
Some
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
standard like mods. Nothing too
Things
crazy.
that would help.
Yeah,
Dude, that's awesome.
it's really fun.
Yeah. I've been doing like Bed Wars and survival with a few
Oh
friends.
shit! Are you good
Yeah.
at Bed Wars?
No. I'm
I
ass.
was. I used to be a Bed Wars warrior back, but I kind of retired.
I did factions with Noobstack, who's the programmer, the balance guy.
Oh, yeah.
And we did factions and we met up with these guys and we kind of formed a faction together and we found out that there's like payouts. Like if you're the top faction, you can get paid real money. Like the top faction.
Oh yeah.
the
I used to
season got
play. I used to play a faction server with. Well, you don't know them, but Zuder and Alex does with Flare, and we were so close to getting the $200
Really?
one, the $200 one, and then we got steamrolled. Right, and then there was this big server,
Mhm.
$1,000 payout. We were doing so good, and then we wake up one day and it fully just raided.
Yeah.
And it sucks 'cause it was last day, so usually we'd be able to come back easily.
Yeah.
But last,
We had a plan. We all fell out of it, which kind of sucked because like
I also
I was so excited to keep working on it, and not even for the money. It was just fun, you know. But
yeah, it was,
but we had like this plan, and it was to raise your like faction power. You have to buy these like mob spawners or whatever. And so
yeah.
we were gonna have a ton of mob spawners in our personal vaults, and then last day we were gonna put them all down, and then spend the last 24 hours all online defending the base and taking down the other top factions, and
Oh,
we
that's
were gonna
smart.
win. And they said they've done that. They did that a lot like a few years back, and they had this rhythm, and they won a ton. They got a ton of money off all these faction servers from doing that. It always worked. It was consistently like their best plan. And we did really good for a while. I think if like the top faction was like 80 billion, and within the first like day we had like 7 billion each. So like we were really kicking it. But yeah, we all fell out. I don't remember why, but it was fun. I mean, it's so nice to be able to just relax finally. I also don't like how Mojang's been treating Minecraft recently. It's kind of easy for me to want to blame like Microsoft, but
just the pace they've been putting out updates and the content they've been adding. It's really it sucks a lot. I think it's mainly because they're trying to make Minecraft Java and Minecraft Bedrock closer to one another. So they're trying to put out updates at the same time for both. In Java, it's like nothing. Bedrock is a whole process they have to do to make updates. So that's why it's been slow.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know. Like it's such nothing.
Mhm.
Like I feel like they don't fix the things that need to be fixed. Like the caves are bigger now, right? And that's kind of cool. However, I feel like there's just nothing to find in them now. They're just these big empty voids that like look pretty and stuff, and you have the deep dark, that's kind of neat, but I'm not going into the deep dark. Like I don't know, new ores, new dungeons. The dungeons have been the exact same for like a decade. They've been so
Mossy cobblestone
ugly.
blocks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like their priorities are weird, but
And then
that's
people are gonna
also
say
just me.
mine shafts, but mine shafts are just boring.
Mine shafts.
I'll be real.
My shafts are a boring mess, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the just the cave spiders. It's just a nuisance. Like
Cave
it's,
spiders
it's
are really annoying.
you don't get anything.
They
from
gotta
them.
get them out of the game. Those things are annoying.
Cave spiders,
Remove
phantoms,
'em.
delete them, please.
Yeah, no, I agree with Phantoms, dude. That it's so fucking obnoxious. Like,
Dude, they're so dumb. They would be
I-
cool if you
especially
could
on a
take 3
multiplayer
Minecraft
server.
days.
yeah,
It's so annoying. You get 3 Minecraft days,
yeah.
and they come at you
Three.
like it's so. You get like 10
I'm
of
glad
them.
they explain it because back then we didn't know what they did.
Yeah,
They
I
did
wish they
show off the
explained it better.
mobs, just like what they looked like, and that was it.
They showed that it flew. It did not show what it did. They showed that flew like, oh, it's like a cool creature you find in the end that helps the ender dragon. You
That's
get
what
cool
a lot of
item
people
from
thought it was. Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I like the
and then
the mob votes. I consistently like want the one that like always like just gets completely fucked.
Yeah.
no,
same.
that's real. And that's
Oh my
something I
God.
like about what we got into the SMP. We added a mod that adds in all the losing
Yeah. Copper
Mob
golem,
vote.
tough golem, glare.
Oh, that's so
oh my
sick.
God.
It's
I
really
made
fun.
I made
Even
a
the old
restaurant.
ones, like it's so sick.
I made a restaurant with tough golems.
Yeah, they're
That's
all
so
with the little waiters and like black suits. It's really fun.
Yeah, I put dyed the waiters in black suit, the chef in a white top.
That's so awesome.
And then I made a guinea pig
Yeah,
walking thing on the top of my roof. It was-
For copper golem to
For the
walk around
copper
and press
golems.
buttons.
yeah, and just stem. It was fire.
It's fun.
It's been fun. And I honestly I hate on it sometimes, but having to stream every time you play really does help keep it alive.
I think so, yeah, because I guess it's kind of like because you gotta have content for your stream, right? You gotta keep energy up and
Yeah.
shit. So it's way more fun when you're. It's way more. Minecraft is fun when you try. I think that's the main thing, is that Minecraft is really boring and shit if you are like bored and you're not
Yeah.
doing anything in it. That was
I agree.
always my problem, is that I never did anything. I'd always get on a new server and like just hang out.
Yeah, wouldn't have.
I'm
anything
actually
to-
like building stuff. I'm doing things. It's like, and it's so fun. It's
We
so much
recently
fun.
built me and Alex relic. We built a Technoblade memorial like little thing.
That was really fun to do and work on and like
It was.
kind of craft. It was sick.
That's awesome.
I'm really happy about how it came out. I want to
And
do
it
more
was-
stuff
it's-
like that on the server.
We need to make more builds in general on the server.
Man. Would you
Community
ever?
build projects.
Huh?
Community build projects.
Yeah, stuff like
Yeah,
that
tell
where
everyone to get on
everyone's
server.
working together on a thing. I think that's fun.
Mhm.
Oh, man. Would you ever consider
I-
being a streamer?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, I like to say I do a lot of different medias. You know, like I consider myself like a multimedia producer, mainly software dev, but like I do everything. I do YouTube videos, but streaming's something I could never do, because for me, right, the only time that I would ever enjoy streaming is if there was a 10 people plus audience watching. If less than
That's-
10 people are
that's
watching, it's really
That's so hard.
demoralizing. And I know some people
Yep.
like, think it's like, that's kind of shitty to say.
No,
I appreciate the people that you do have.
but it's really
yeah.
fair, because I've definitely, that's how I was when I first started out. It was really painful to like be sitting there and then look over at chat and it's empty.
Yeah, it's just
Wasteland, tumbleweed flying through.
I feel like that everybody used to be like that, but now even if there's nobody there, I'll still. Because
It's-
VODs are a thing.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah,
to,
that's
it's
true.
just better to stream with more people, I think.
Yeah,
If
But
you have
even
friends
I
that you
just
could stream with, fucking who cares about chat?
yeah,
Exactly.
That's true. See, I don't have that. I don't have that. Is what I'm missing. Yeah, so I've tried before. I tried when I was a lot younger, but I could never. Well, also I was younger, so no fucking wonder people didn't want to watch. But like I don't know, it was just always so demoralizing. And I would stream, and then like 30 minutes in, I would have no one has joined in, and I would like advertise it everywhere that I was streaming, and still no one was there. And the people who did come generally left pretty quickly because I was like just talking to them. They would just be like, "Oh, well, I gotta go now," and then like. I don't know. After doing that so many times, it was always just so like after 30 minutes, I'd be like, I want to keep playing, but I don't want to keep talking to myself like an insane person. So I might as well just go stop streaming and just play how I play with music on or whatever.
It's very hard to stream alone. I used to think it would be harder, but if it's just like a game, for example, Minecraft, I could stream alone, but it's not the best for me. I would not prefer not to. But let's say like an actual like single player game. I played and streamed a game called Kickflight. That's a completely different game. Actually, wait. A game called Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh yeah.
The other day. And I was alone in it. I was just I just liked the game and I was able to stream alone. I was like, this isn't too bad.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know. I think it is definitely a me thing, you know. Like I respect streamers, though. I know that's like very. And I know, obviously, you know, once you get into it, you know, I'm sure it's a lot easier for you guys now that you've been doing it for.
Yeah. Speaking of Hi-Fi Rush, this has nothing. John, so remember, you know, Xbox games, the reoccurring payments.
Yeah, I canceled it.
Yeah. So that $10, same day I was about to pay, paid for the fucking Xbox fat, and then I'm like, I look like a dickhead texting the promoters, like the promo page. Oh, yeah, it kind of just got used.
Oh
so
my god, that's so funny.
I can't really pay for the promo for my song now.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know in the future when I need another.
For reference,
It's like.
XL does music, and you know, you got to get your music out there. And the money you're supposed to give to the people that were gonna promote your song, it
Same
just
exact
dipped into
day.
Xbox.
Yep.
It's so
Same
funny.
exact day. I was like, okay, I'll do it when I'm home, right? And then right when I'm about to, 2 minutes, I checked my phone 2 minutes ago. It says you made a payment to Xbox. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh my god.
Dude, you got to be on the subscriptions, man.
Yeah. But the thing is too, I forgot completely because I was using it. I've been using it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna stream some games, like a stream Hi-Fi Rush, and it was just a lot. Now, I don't know. It's just so awkward. We set everything up. I sent him all the details and shit, and
It's over. It's ruined.
I was gonna say about the streaming thing, how you were talking about. I only started streaming. I don't want to do streaming. I mean, obviously it's like a dream. It's a dream job, streaming. You know, like everyone wants to be a streamer. It's like awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't want to start now because the same thing like you, like I'm gonna go live to what? Alex and Noah. And like I might as well just be in a Discord call with them and talk with them and just play a game anyways, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, real quick,
So I'd rather
the recording
build up
stopped for 10
community.
seconds, but-
Yeah, your mic's fucked right now.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
You said the recording stopped?
It stopped for 10 seconds, but I put it back.
No, it's fine.
I wasn't talking.
That's gonna be one more minute of editing I have to do. Fuck.
It's all good.
Pod's canceled. All 3 hours. Just throw it in the trash.
Thanks
You
for having me on.
gotta, fix your mic on Discord too.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so scared because like I don't have a lot of storage on my computer, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is a long call. Like this is gonna like completely ruin
Yeah, like,
my
do you
like,
think
storage."
it ends?
It's
at
not
some
too
point?
much. As long as you export it as MP3.
Yeah, I just checked. No, I'm fine. I got apparently 4 hours of disk space remaining.
I do too, I'm good.
So I'm chilling. Right now.
Audacity and like audio files are pretty low size typically. So Should
The
be
way
fun.
you guys do it is really, really good. Me and Neat, what we'll do now is he'll just record it. Like he'll record all of it, which can be really bad. I mean, like, but the way we're doing it right here is nice because like certain things, like what I'm going to do, I know for sure before I send you my audio is like, the background. I have my fan always running.
Oh my
Or,
god.
like my computer fan is like right here. My computer's right here, so it's like really close to my mic, and there's really nothing I can do about it because my computer's just loud and old. So I'm gonna like, get rid of it in Audacity, like the background remover, so it sounds better. So like I can do shit like that here.
That is
so my audio
so
comes off
incredibly nice.
crisper. but I can't do that stuff with like me.
I let
Yeah.
Alex do that.
Yeah, I have to edit all of their audio for them.
Really.
This is the episode where I actually quit the Braindead Podcast and become a member of
What?
Two Dudes.
Whose idea was Brain Dead, if you don't mind me asking, or was it like a group effort? Like you guys were all at the same time, like, oh my god, we need to do this.
I think Braindead was a name I recommended, right?
Nope, it was me.
Was it?
Don't even try.
Fuck, I'm
There's
sorry. Yeah, my fault, OG.
My podcast.
No, but yeah, we've been friends for a while, all of us, and
Very
we've
long
always,
time.
YouTube group is like always like a thing. Hey, let's do YouTube stuff.
This
And
is our
it
third
went through a
group.
lot of phases. It's our third group. We have the core 4, and this is the one that we're gonna stick with.
We have Braindead and Co. too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well then Co is
Co is
close friends,
all of
so-
our other friends,
Yeah,
but they're
he
not
calls it podcast.
the core 4,
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
not the content group.
Yeah, before we had when we were really
I'm-
young,
I'm
we
the
were
lovable-
Bird Gang,
You don't have to say the names. You don't have to say. The
and then after that we were Flop, and the logo was a penis. It was like it was Flop spelled out, but the F, L, and O were like skin colored, and the P was like like pink.
Pink,
And then
yeah.
for the podcast, which was called the Flopcast, the cast was really small on the side of it, and it was white.
This is disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is horrifying.
I don't know why I never picked up. It doesn't. I don't get why.
I mean,
Yeah, I wonder.
no, it sounds like a key to success, actually.
And there was the nest, right?
The Nest
Well, that
was
was-
the other
Nest.
podcast during Bird Gang, but that wasn't like a
Yeah.
group. Bird Gang was the group.
Yeah.
And
But yeah,
then,
third try is the charm, and I think we nailed
and
it
this, we
Yeah.
were doing good. This is like actually a thing
Yeah.
now.
because we were.
I joined in. I'm the lovable little kid.
Yeah.
And the brain dead because I was always just like I was the main person in the group. I was just
Good friend of the
like,
pod,
Yeah.
and we were
But
like,
then it
we
was
need a
like-
fourth, because our third, Kev, love that guy to death, just it was never available ever.
He's really hard to work with.
Really
hard.
hard. He'd give a specific time, and he'd be like, we'd be in the call, and we're like, where are you at? Like an hour later. Oh yeah, actually, I was doing
How many
something.
times? It's crazy how many times I can count him being like, "We'll do it at 12." I'm sitting there like, because I do stuff, So I'm like, I'm tired. I'm sitting there like on my bed, just like this, eyes wide open at 12,
Waiting.
right?
Tired.
I doze off for like 20 minutes. I wake up. I see him texting at like, and he's like, "Hey, I don't think 12 is gonna work. We were like 1:30," and I'm like, I can't do this.
Die. Yeah, like.
He's like, oh my god.
I love Kev like a brother. I love that guy to death, but Jesus Christ, he's
He's
better
really bad
now.
to work with.
But
better-
he
yeah.
was
Thank God.
impossible to work with. So that's why we have Exile.
We have to, sort of get the wheels rolling again.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
and I think a
Plus, it's
fourth
been a
just
little
adds
ti-
more
it's been-
to the
It's
whole
been
thing.
talked about for a little bit.
Yeah.
Me joining.
I approached Neat to make Two Dudes because I really wanted to make a podcast. So that's one of those things that like I've always had the drive to do, but I've never been able to do it.
Mhm.
And I've always thought that podcasts work best when it's 3 people, and then adding to that. You know what I mean? So like, 3 people to bounce each other's like ideas off of, and then on top of
Yeah.
that, like certain guest or whatever.
Mhm.
I've
Like-
said 3 to 4.
Yeah. I
Um,
like this format of like one of us isn't here and we have a guest on, I don't know
Mhm.
how a 5-man pod would go. Like all 4 of us and then a guest.
Seems
Considering
chaotic.
us, it might
Yeah,
be,
it seems like
bad,
too
wouldn't it?
much. Even this sometimes I feel like might be too much, but I don't know.
Mhm.
It's doable.
I think
Yeah,
this is. It's fine. Thank.
peak podcast.
Then you have people with 7 people on a Discord call.
Yeah, I don't know how people.
That
do
was our
I-
first podcast. That was the Nest where we just had we would have like 8 people on a call and it was nothing. It was not. We couldn't talk about a single thing at once.
And it was
Everyone
that
talks
was
over
like
each
6
other.
years ago.
Sorry.
Yeah, because it's who's trying to be the funniest type thing, you know?
That is
So
what
it's
it
people
is.
just going in and in and in. People doing it on their
Competition.
phones. It's mobile delay. We had nothing. It was bad. It was fun though. It was good memories.
Those
Core
were the
memories
days where
from-
we were all on mobile and we only had Craig to record our Discord calls. Craig, the Discord bot,
Craig
joins the
Discord
call and he
bot.
says, "Now recording," and
Genuinely the funniest thing. It was so bad. And then every time, dude, somebody
sometimes
said
he
something
wouldn't
bad.
even save the audio. Sometimes it was
No,
really
the thing
bad.
is, sometimes you say something bad. I remember Alex trying to record something. People just kept saying words that we should not be said, and you can't. It's a bot recording it, so
Uh-huh.
you have to restart the entire thing.
If
So
someone,
we're
because
5 minutes.
I
Yeah, we're
wasn't
5
editing
minutes
back
in.
then. I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'll throw this all together," and then bam.
Oh, okay.
It's like a 5. It was
So I was
5
like,
minutes in.
if someone fucked up like that, I'd be like, "Dude, it's you gotta scrap the whole thing." It was a
That
process.
is horrible.
I
Yeah.
remember how many times I've been on my phone just hearing now recording.
Now recording.
Like Alex being like, "Oh my god, guys, please stop."
Dude,
Redo the
I will
audio.
never forget the one time that I left my room because I had to go throw out trash or something. I left for maybe 5 minutes tops.
Oh no.
And the bot is just not recording. I'm like, what happened? They put in a command to make the bot leave. What is wrong with you people? it actually made me so mad. Oh, it's so great that we're all grown and it's
wonder where
nice.
Craig
It's
is
really
right
nice.
now.
What we have now.
I wonder where Craig is right now. Can we use Craig to record our next podcast?
We gotta go back to our roots.
Back to our
Yeah.
roots. I've been saying this podcast needs a 5th, and I think Craig is really
No, yeah.
what
no.
we need.
Bring him in. You got to hear the recording message.
I don't know about that one.
He brings so much to the table.
He would.
Yeah,
he
the,
truly
the,
would.
the 3 seconds of audio he says.
Now recording.
Now recording.
It's most
Says it exactly
interesting.
like that.
Get it on a soundboard.
That should be added to the server soundboard. I'll do that.
Do not tell anyone else. You
Yeah.
nostalgia.
Oh man.
Great.
Podcast is something we've always wanted to do, and it's great that we
It's
can
finally
do
working.
that now. It's really fun. I really
Yeah.
like it. I've shown it to people in real life, and they really like it. It's
I've
it's nice.
yeah, I've been on a few different podcasts, but this one's definitely the most I mean, they're all great, right? They're all fantastic.
No,
Yeah.
fuck it.
No,
Yeah,
let's
but,
throw shade.
we're the best. We're the best. We're the best. Come on.
It's been
We got more leaks than them.
I love how casual it is. You guys aren't very pushy with the professionalism.
Yeah.
which is nice.
It's so not fun to be all business. I'm like, we're
Yeah.
that's not interesting. No one wants to hear that. Let's be silly and funny. You know,
I 100% agree. No,
it's way
so
more
much
interesting. Way
Talk
more
about Alex
entertaining.
Dick for 2 hours. It's fine.
Yeah, we did talk about Yick for a while.
The
But
Yiik
it's fine.
podcast.
Yeah,
Anything, this might be the most
Yickcast is next.
professional.
We're getting Andrew and Brian Allison on next.
I will
so
not be
hard.
there for that one.
I would.
It will be
I'm
just
interested.
me and them.
I'm in the back asking questions.
Yeah. Oh man. No, you've been on fucking point this episode. Like Jesus.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Because
I was on-
I'm able to talk about shit. Like I just don't. Usually we just don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is I'm usually fine with. It's just I don't have shit going on in life that I can talk about. Yeah, you know.
So it's
But,
it's good to have someone else that you could bounce off of and get a new perspective and
Yeah.
learn about and stuff. It's fun. Reach into their life.
Yeah.
Super happy you came, man. Really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I'm on the opposite side. I got too much shit to talk about. Too little time.
Too much to talk
Listen,
about.
man.
We are at the 3-hour mark. This is
This is a movie. This is a fucking movie.
We're over here.
Braindead and Co. the movie, the film.
This is easily our longest podcast for our.
See,
Ever. Like, I don't think we'll do a longer one than this. I doubt it.
I remember the before hour mark. Before it hit the 1 hour mark, I was like, maybe we should do a extended episode, but like for the Patreon.
Yeah, I only
But-
just saw in the Discord you typed Patreon episode, and I never saw that.
Yeah, that was like 2 hours ago.
I'm so sorry. I feel like you should have interjected. And been like, wait,
Okay.
hold on.
I didn't want it now. I feel like if I mentioned it, you guys would have stopped your conversation and wanted it now.
Oh, man.
I didn't want it yet.
But
That's great. This honestly, I'm gonna be honest. This is 3 hours. It went by like fast. I remember looking back. I remember looking back when it was 11 minutes, and I was like,
I was like,
all right. and then it was 57 minutes. And then it was like an hour 15. I was like, oh. I started talking about Pokemon all day. I'm like, oh, okay. It's going. It's great.
you are
It's great.
And
easily,
it's been the smoothest, most organic like conversation.
easily favorite guest we've had on. We haven't had that many on, but Jesus, you're great, man. Love you.
That's awesome.
Love you,
This
dog.
is really fun.
I appreciate it. I love you
Fun.
too, man.
This has
Thank
been
you
really
so much
fun.
for having me on.
And I'm not someone who's like into indie stuff like that. I enjoy them, but like I'm not like into it. So like Alex,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I'm like intrigued with everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm down to.
I'm
No,
happy
learn
you and
about it.
John were down to clown with my bullshit, my antics.
I don't care really about any of that. Or like, wait, let me rephrase. I care about
don't
the
care
shit
about
guys
you.
like. I don't care about like whatever you think is bullshit or whatever. I don't care about like if it's bullshit or not. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Good look.
We're
I
gonna
will definitely be keeping up on
Thank
Cross
you.
Impact. I got you.
I appreciate it, dude.
I really want to
to
play. Yeah.
We should
I'm gonna
play
download
after
the
this.
demo
Actually,
after this.
we could all play
We
the four
can.
of us.
I was actually gonna suggest that we play another game after the recording ended, but
I'm super down.
we
That's fun.
can.
It's-
We can do anything after this ends.
it's
I
kinda
got all the
goofy.
time in the world, man. Trust.
It's kind of goofy, and I have to make a few calls before we go into like gaming. Just chilling.
That's
But
fine.
I don't know how long that'll. I don't know how long that'll be.
We'll just see.
We'll probably be here either way.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, let's wrap it up. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Kolbi.
I'd be completely
Dallen
down to
Larson.
get you back in the future.
Yes.
Yeah,
Easily.
I'm
That would
always,
be fine.
Jesus
I'm always
Christ.
down, man.
You've been a fantastic guest. Is there anything you want to shout out right now? Let the people
Or
know.
just say.
Shout out to Braindead and Co.
Yes!
Need more-
See, this guy gets it.
Need more episodes. No, I'm gonna talk to Nate about having all of you guys on. 2 dudes. Let's see if I'm gonna see what I can get Nate to agree to.
Yeah.
I'll see how far I can push him.
Yeah.
3 dudes?
Let's see.
4, 5, 6?
Like 6
Maybe.
A lot
dudes.
of dudes. A lot of dudes.
Let's just bring Braindead and Co. We'll bring.
Let's get the server.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
get streamers SMP. We'll get Zabzag and everyone else
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Some one call, one podcast.
Yeah,
We-
that'll be fun.
Alex, we need to do, well, selected people, but a streamers SMP podcast.
I've been
Select-
wanting to do that. That's definitely planned. That's in the works.
And you know, it would be a bunch of people, but I think it would be fun. Just
Yeah, like maybe
Yeah.
3 people.
You could have them
tops.
alternate too. I thought about that.
We
Like,
could do that. We could have them
That would be
swap
really
out
cool.
every once in a while. We could have a bunch of people and just have them alternate.
yeah,
rotate
like,
out.
has a podcast listener. I think I've wanted that in a podcast, but I haven't found one that does it really well. Like they'll rotate certain people out temporarily and then bring them back in.
Hmm.
I think it's a fun idea. It hasn't really been executed good yet, but I think there's potential there.
yeah.
That is a fun concept. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely gonna think about that. Actually, that sounds sick.
But,
But,
thank you guys for having me on so much. I
Yeah.
really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
being here, taking time out of your busy schedule, your busy day.
Yeah, this has been
Everyone,
awesome, dude.
make sure to check out Cross Impact, wishlisted on Steam. Follow this motherfucker. Like, dude,
Yeah.
Look
Support
at all
this
this shit
man.
he's doing. Support
He's
indie
a dev,
developers.
and
He is making your
has a
dreams come
personality.
true. Give him
This guy's
your
my
money.
guy.
And like, damn. And remember this. If Cross Impact gets delayed, it's our fault because we spent
It's
3
because
hours
we had him
We
on a
spent- yeah.
podcast.
and
yeah.
more. Of him not doing it.
But yeah, pledge to his Patreon. Fucking
yeah.
and follow us while you're at it. You know.
Yeah, it's true. Do all of it. It's
On
one-
YouTube,
one-
Spotify, all major listening platforms. We have a Twitter, an Instagram, and we have a Patreon you can pledge $5 to. Just $5, please.
Shout out Cool Chris again for his Patreon.
Shout out the one and only
Yeah.
Patreon we have. I gotta
And
make that
if-
episode after this.
And if more people get it, then we'll make maybe more content.
Yeah.
Like more secret
There's
content.
gonna be
to do
more
it.
shit on the Patreon, definitely. The more
Yeah,
people
maybe
we get on there, so.
Colby will come back on the Patreon. I mean, he's definitely coming back.
maybe,
The long-
maybe.
But on the
The
Patreon.
long Patreon version.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Exactly.
The 8-hour Patreon cut.
Where we just
Snyder-
talk all
Snyder
day.
Patreon.
The 24-hour version. It's completely uncut.
A day
You
with,
guys wanna
we'll
watch
call it a
Pokemon?
day with Dallen. That's what we'll
I'm just
call it.
sleeping.
And it's 24-hour long podcast.
He
with
teaches
you.
us and he employs us. we're now on the team.
Get back to work.
We work for Cross Impact.
We
Take
work
your kid to
across
work
Impact.
day.
That'd be a cool video.
Patreon. Is that everything for the Braindead?
Patreon, Twitter.
Patreon, Twitter,
That's all we
Instagram, all the listening platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc., etc.
And you said
And all of our
this
socials
next
too,
week.
also.
Yeah, all our socials. So
Including
from
Dallen's.
from this being out last week, I posted new songs. So like also go check that out.
Also that, yeah. Thanks
Also
for. No, it's fine. I'll put that in there.
I need
That's
my
good.
own time. I need my
Yeah,
own time.
no, listen to fucking XL's music. It's really good. I haven't listened to your new shit actually.
The
I
new
gotta
song?
do that after this. No,
You
I
should-
haven't.
I'm gonna say.
I
a lot
saw
of
you
things
announce that
after-
on the server, and I was like, "Oh shit."
Do you do remixes?
No.
He does.
No,
He
not
does
at
original
all.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
do, but I do really everything. like
Okay.
all types of shit. So
Sweet.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll have to check it.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and once again, thank you so much to Kolbi, our amazing guest.
amazing, guys.
We
Honestly,
will see you
appreciate it.
all in the next episode of the Braindead Podcast. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye. That's great.